And fuck you if you don't like it.
Start talking and talk fast, you lousy bum. What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man.
Oh, really?
Check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night Daggers and Hatchet Rant, with your co-hosts, Patrick Acton, Teddy Bester's in the house, yours truly, Larry Parsons, special guest, Joe Farkas is visiting. This is My Brain. And now your host, the guy that put this all together just for me, Mr. Jeremy Scott Gibbs. Larry was early enough tonight to change his shirt and wash his hands, though he was presentable enough to make this announcement.
He was presentable enough. We love it. And there we're starting out with the gay fish.
We need to add that as a soundboard.
Wow. Gay fish.
I'm not a gay fish.
There's the fish. All right. Was it your batteries, Larry? Is that what it was? All right.
And there I am.
We're here.
At the Man Cave.
I'm going to scoot a little. No. Patrick needs to scoot just a hair closer to me. I didn't check us, Patrick. I got after them about where they were sitting.
You know, I just got to say, that was an awesome dinner.
You like
Cooked
that?
that chicken perfect.
I'm glad you like the chicken. For those of you watching at home, we had pork chops. We did not have chicken, as Larry so eloquently pointed out how much he liked it. Is your microphone on?
It should be.
It's not.
I thought it said chicken on there.
I like the sound. Oh,
Don't
okay.
start with me,
Yeah, good chicken.
Joe. Don't you feed into his insanity over there.
Okay, all right.
I like the sweet potatoes. That was the best part.
Yeah, with the bumpy cake was good.
Oh, the bumpy cake.
cake
I'm
was
going to have to go have a big piece of that here.
Yeah, not much left.
Sweeten me
You
up.
can
huh?
have the rest.
Yeah, compliments of Dennis Marburger.
Yeah, Dennis always brings. And remember the last time he brought those cherry pies and the apple pie?
Yeah, that's right.
That was
I think it was Entenmann's. Entenmann's usually is pretty good.
Yeah.
Good
Whatever
stuff.
it is. Sweeten us up, we're pretty much a sour group, so we got to do something.
Yeah. Don't tell my doctor.
What's that? We got to get that clip from,
Don't tell
from
my
the movie
wife.
Snatch. And he's like,
Don't
"Why don't
worry,
you
I
put the
won't
kettle
call your
on?"
wife and tell
he's
her.
like, "You want sugar with that?" He's getting some tea. He's like, "You want sugar with that?" "No, thanks, Turkish. I'm sweet enough."
Dale says, borrow the clip from South Park. Big Gay Al.
Big gay ass. I see it. I see it. Action, action. All right. Roll call.
We're all here.
Audio just dropped. What do you mean audio just dropped? What are you saying, Dale?
Audio.
Not true. Fake.
Not true.
You are fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
The
Well,
fake news
Joe
actually-
showed up unexpectedly. Pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
He
I
just come
wanted-
walking upstairs, and I hear this other voice, and I'm like, "Who is that?
That's
Joe Farkas."
I know that guy.
I know that guy.
Is that
Yeah,
the guy
I
that
just
knocked
want-
all those doors for Mike Detmer?
Oh, door knocking is that's going to be on my tombstone, the door knocker.
I don't know how you do it, buddy. My knees would kill me.
Right? All right, so yeah, we had pork chops, sweet potato souffle, mushrooms, and signature salad.
Always signature salad.
Always signature salad.
Gotta do
you
something
did
healthy,
coleslaw.
I did a whole slaw.
yeah.
But you had ribs. I mean, slaw goes
That
with
was the
ribs.
show that we couldn't get anything to work, and we
Yeah.
ended up just eating and playing a little pool and watching the Tigers game, didn't we?
But for some reason, Rumble was on the fritz that night. So
Well, and you guys have to keep track. I think we did pretty successful. Teddy said on Sunday we didn't have any issues with the new setup.
No freezing. Everything was pretty good.
Okay. So what I found out for those of you guys that missed us the last few weeks or tuned in last week is I have to have the system set, the little broadcast station, I have to have it set on the lowest output. I mean the lowest stream bit rate in order for Rumble to not lag and get frozen and freak out. That's what the
Really?
problem was. Yeah. So
now I previewed I watched the show at a later time,
yeah.
and it was pretty much seamless. Every time there was a lapse, it just kind of
Was that Sundays or was that the previous Tuesday?
It was the previous Tuesday.
Yeah, it seemed to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's a
Well,
lot.
Tuesday for the stream and then the video replay, it would skip. So when it was frozen and live, it would skip
Yes,
over.
that's right. And when you watched it, it was actually the show that we did was 3 hours and 10 minutes, and the rebroadcast was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yep.
I've been having an issue with Rumble.
Yeah,
Ju-
just
yeah.
watching.
Yeah, just watching. So
Yep.
I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to come watch it in person.
Well, there you
There you
go. I mean, that's what we do.
More interesting this way, aren't we?
Exactly. You wanted in on the fun.
So are you one of those guys that are giving a shit in chat? No.
Nah, I
Not
keep my
Joe.
nose clean.
Well, we kind of need that. We need somebody to jack us up once in a while.
I may have to make Teddy a moderator so that we're covered. Just to keep us. All right, let's do this. I don't know where this is queued at. I'm just going to play it. That's one thing I should have done before the show started. There was a guy.
You ready?
You ready?
The
All
disclaimer.
right, let's go with
Here it
our
is.
first disclaimer. Grandma Connie.
All right, this is my brain.
Oh,
What'd you do? Are you
clicked on the
pushing
button. Oh, it went to that one. Okay.
Notice, this podcast is mostly raw and unfiltered and completely politically incorrect.
Completely.
Note, we say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God.
Yes.
We thank our troops for their service.
Dramatic pause.
Larry?
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
To all the veterans out there.
Yes, to all the veterans.
Oh, that was the cheers.
For everyone who's fought for this country or supported the ones who fought for this country.
Yep.
That's right, because families that have soldiers in them
Yeah,
are supported.
absolutely.
That's right.
Because they make the sacrifice as well
Livingston
as the
Lantern
soldier.
says, cheers, Larry.
Cheers, Larry.
That's
Thank you.
right.
That's awesome.
That's right. We only recognize 2 genders.
Due e gendro.
2 genders.
I don't even know if that's Italian, but it sounded good.
Boy, girl, because boys
Are
have
ya?
penises and girls have vaginas. Kindergarten cop. Kindergarten cop.
Very true.
That is a movie from my childhood.
We're not even 5 minutes in penis.
And penis and vagina have a drop in the show.
I'm just being science.
I mean, the next thing you know,
Just
that are good for the sake. Next thing you know,
Let us
jokes,
be
and I don't know what to do.
honest on this show. Very nicely done.
Thank you.
Very nicely
Kelly.
done. Yes.
Penis and vagina. It's the way to start
Yep.
the show.
As adults.
Just clarifying the genitalia that belongs to
I didn't know this was gonna be
It's
this long
amazing
one.
how
This
liberals
long.
don't understand simple science. I mean,
Right.
they claim to be, we're the party of science. Men can have babies.
Science.
No.
That was
At least not in humanity.
That was
Right.
one of the
Yeah.
best. I saw a discussion where a trans person was talking to a panel of people, and they were like, I'm an ambulance. I'm an EMT. And so the guy said, okay, and you affirm being an EMT, you've got a medical background, right?
Right.
That there's
I gotta
2
label
genders.
these
And he's like, no, there's
individually so I
many
know
genders.
which ones
And
are long
he said,
and which
men,
ones are short.
women can have
That's going on for a
penises,
while.
right?
I know. I
And so,
don't want to cut Kelly off. I
he
love her.
says,
But
okay. So the
Here's
panelist
Mom's lap.
says, so you get a call that's an emergency and somebody's having a miscarriage and you have to get there right away. And you get there and the person that's having the miscarriage has a penis.
So
Is that an emergency?
I don't.
And the trans person goes, well, no.
I mean, what would a? I can't even.
It's not going to happen.
That's
where are
ridiculous.
we at with this?
I do too.
Can we move on? Yes.
Move on. All right.
Yes.
We came in hard.
There's been a lot of change derailments, and I
Penises,
think
and we came in hard.
that's your fault.
It was her.
That's your fault. That was when we were out and
God.
I'm sorry.
my God.
Very nice.
Larry.
All right, I'm going to the other ones now.
These people are crazy.
They are crazy.
They're crazy.
Let's see. Patrick, I'm going to put you up.
I would challenge you to a battle of wits, but I can clearly see that you are unarmed.
Mr. Farkas, will you please read that one, sir?
It is easier to fool the people than to convince them they have been fooled.
That is correct, sir.
Mark Twain said that.
Let's see. Teddy, you're Thomas Paine tonight, buddy.
Let me see. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right and raises at best a formidable outcry in defense of custom. But the tumult soon subsides. Time makes more converts than reason.
Not bad, Mr. Bester. That was a cold read on the one that I normally do.
Now can you transpose that into English?
Of course. Yeah, we've gone over it. Larry.
Oh, a new one. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people. It's the first time I've read this one. To keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment issued on 12/15/1791. Expires never.
Cold dead from my cold dead hands.
And I got a bonus. I got a bonus quote here from a YouTube viewer, Roland Rositsky. A thing thinking will think.
That is true. That is very true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Except for bears.
They'll fucking kill you.
Bears just
Bears just
fucking-
kill you.
Just bears
They just
fucking
kill you.
Yeah.
Bears will kill you.
And bears will kill you, okay?
Bears will kill you, okay? Don't
all right,
go
and
for bears.
all together, gentlemen,
Never
apologize and never explain. It is a sign of weakness.
Weak.
And I think that people out here would do well, if you're watching, to understand that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
Nothing. All right, disclaimers are out of the way. We're back on the show, or we're ready to go. So attendance, dinner recap, disclaimers. The quote for tonight, as we talk about daggers and hatchets, from President John F. Kennedy, JFK. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable.
Nice.
And we're going to play a little clip to kick us off here before we, let's do that. Do we want to do the little clip first? Yeah, I want to play the clip, then we're going to come back to it. But I want to hear about some weekend stuff from you guys. We're humans. We got to humanize the show.
Humanize the show.
Humanize the show. Let's see here. So, if you guys didn't hear, if you're living under a rock, the girl caught in Scotland, or charged in Scotland for brandishing an axe after she was caught on video screaming at a migrant to stay away from her and her 12-year-old sister. Okay. We're going to play the little clip here. I think this is where it's at.
You don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't! Hey, I'm fucking perfect! You're fucking bad and
Why you fucking with us?
These are fucking kid bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show
the
the knife.
fuck away from her!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch her!
That's
Touch
it.
me,
That's
do whatever
it.
you
Show
want
the
to me.
knife.
Don't touch my little sister!
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister! She ain't fucking 12! Wait till I fucking catch you! She's fucking 12 and you just battered me, mate!
So they've got these migrants throughout all of Europe, and especially there in
Scotland.
The UK is heavy with them.
Yeah,
not just
it's
Scotland.
taken over.
And they rove around in these rape gangs, trying to find these little girls and attack them. And did you send that to me? And this little girl is just one of the most recent ones. She had a kitchen knife and a little axe that would come out of the tool shed, and she defended her and her sister, 14 and 12. Well, in the wisdom of the Scotland government, Scotland police there, they arrested her for brandishing a bladed weapon in St. Anne Lane, Dundee. Officers attended, supposed to be arrested. A 14-year-old girl was charged in connection. She will be reported to the relevant authorities. Oh, but how about the fuckers that are going after her and her sister? How about that? Here's a tweet from MTG. This brave little girl is the type of refugee I want coming to America. Can't comprehend what type of government won't protect her and refuses to stamp out mass rapings. This is what's happening. And they've got some statistics from this. But there's MTG. So I just want to touch on that because this is Daggers and Hatchet. It's coming to the point where people are having to defend themselves. And
not only from the thugs, but from the police.
Exactly. Well, they're finding out that the chiefs of police there are
paid off.
They're the same people. They get the same Muslims in there as the chiefs, so then they're giving them a pass, and they're finding out that these little girls that are going in and telling that they've either been raped or they've been attempted to be raped, they're taking them into the police departments and abusing them further.
Well, you could say that as well, but there's a lot of police chiefs, especially the UK, that are traitors, as you could say. They're not refugees or Muslims.
Larry.
They're just...
Don't leave without getting me some ice, buddy.
Larry, can you get me water?
Yeah, there's a bottle of water. See what happens when you leave the show?
And besides the fact that
the
police, especially, you have to realize, especially in Europe, they are just basically armed, organized thugs of the system that wants you and your children dead or in prison,
right,
or your children raped.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay,
you have
so-
to, there has to become to a point where you're like, you either have to be common sense, or there will be people that are like, you know, back the blue, thin blue line and all that, and they just won't get it.
Right.
You know, and they're too binded by civil law. They're too legalistic on things, where the law can be used against you and your people.
Yeah.
But you're like, well, I have to stand by the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I think it's easy for us to say we back the blue and the thin blue line in a country that has a Second Amendment.
Fair enough.
enumeration.
I'm just saying that
in a lot of these other countries,
Mhm.
they've taken away their guns. Half the police departments in these countries don't have weapons. They've got batons and maybe a stun gun or a mace, you know, pepper spray.
Even in Canada, they don't carry guns, do they? The police?
I would have to check into
I would say that the UK and Europe is a eventual things how things are going.
Mhm.
It's going to be how we are 20 to 30 years from now. Because our freedoms and our rights have been slowly eroded over time, and our political party that's supposed to fight against these Republicans aren't doing anything to fight against it.
And that's my angst, is with the majority of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
That if they stood up against this and opposed what was going on, it wouldn't be going on.
Mm-hmm.
And quite often they're just go along to get along. Useless.
Well, there's very few members of Congress that went in at their base income and didn't come out millionaires on both sides.
Yeah. We need more Jason Wolfords, Patrick Colbecks, and
people who serve not to enrich themselves, but serve to
Ted Cruz.
serve the
represent
country.
the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Bovey says, we're already well past the time where we, quote unquote, we the people, boomers with guns were supposed to use them basically kind of a long time ago.
Well, we talked about it on the Sunday show when I had Dennis Marburger in here and Shane Trejo, and we also had Michael Bolden from the 10th Amendment Center join us. And one of the things I pointed out was I said, you know, they didn't attack us. Japan is famous for saying that they wouldn't attack the mainland during World War II because they felt that there would be a gun behind every blade of grass. They've eroded that since, you know, over the last 70 years to where there's enclaves. I mean, we own a lot of guns. Does anybody, you know offhand, Joe, how many guns are in Livingston County?
I would have to say 70,000.
I think it's upward of 300 or 400.
Wow.
But I would have to look that up. Does that sound right? What's our population here?
What is it? 275?
We'll have to look it up so we got the right numbers. But the point being is that they've worked and worked and worked. You know, they drew from the farmers when they wanted snipers, sharpshooters, good marksmen for World War I and World War II. They drew from the farming and rural communities because they knew that these guys were hunters. They knew that they were farmers that had to protect, you know, the wolves or coyotes coming into their property. They also, you know, of course, hunted out there on the properties. And so you had these dynamics. Now, you know, you've got people that are so fearful of guns, it's ridiculous. I think we need to go back to an open constitutional carry.
Yeah.
Well,
across the nation.
If you notice, when you kind of notice when things start to get wrong for the country, right? You could say, oh, it started in the 50s or 60s, but it kind of really started in the 1920s, really when
100%.
FDR got elected.
Yes.
But that's because you had a lot of people that weren't in farms or anything like that. They were disconnected, right?
Right.
So when we had like the highways built and the railways,
Yeah.
everything is more interconnected. The more people would become less hardy people in the countryside and more of urbanites and suburbanites that would just live to consume and consume to live.
Yes, and I think that's what I was saying is it really took root after World War II because you then, that was one of the last, they call it the last great war. And so they looked at it from a standpoint of we don't need to have every citizen being a soldier now. We've got an army.
Yeah.
And we stayed in Korea, and we stayed in Vietnam, and we stayed in these other conflicts. We kept going. So you don't have this push. I agree they were eroding these rights. In fact, some of the first gun laws were post-Civil War to restrict the black community, the newly freed slaves, from having the right of self-defense.
Well, wasn't Woodrow Wilson, he came into the office under the pretense of being somewhat conservative, but he was very much big government.
Well, he created the Federal Reserve, which is kind of where things started to go off the rails a little bit.
Right, and it's...
A little bit, how about a lot?
Yeah. Catch us up a little bit in chat there, Teddy. I see there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. One, Dale says he went to school with you, Joe.
Oh, what is Dale's last name?
Let me go up. So we have Jeffrey A. Mayo saying, "Hey, cracker-ass crackers, y'all heading toward Cracker Barrel after the show." And then Patrice is saying, "Where's Up House? She hasn't been on for a long time. Where's Mr. Coffee? Where's Jen Smith?" They are all great guests. So I guess us guests here aren't as...
We're not as desirable, I guess. We're all lives here.
Well, she heard them all, and definitely Kelly and Jen. I just was texting Jen the other day. I think they moved to a new place. We won't dox them.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, focus on that.
You know who I'm? Alyssa. I miss Alyssa and Jen. And,
oh, right, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And then Patrice says one more, waiting for Larry to say inflatable penis again today.
Okay. Are they going to pull the clip on that when they...
And do we have Dale's last name?
Dale, type it in the chat. We don't want to say it. But
yeah.
So Kelly is working on the business. I don't want to... she's just been a lot busy life. And then her son is a wrestler, so that season took up a lot of stuff like that. And then Mr. Coffee has been dealing with a lot of health issues, and at one time he was looking at running for office. Thank you, Larry. With the city council there, and but because he's still dealing with some health issues, he didn't feel it would be right to do that.
Well, where did that go flying?
It's still in your chest. So we miss him too. We've had some great co-hosts. We've had some other co-hosts that I...
Oh, Kelly Uphouse is another person.
Yeah, Kelly's been working on the business. I don't want to disclose, but yeah, I'm hoping to see Kelly real soon.
That's the best part of
She actually did a drive-by a couple weeks ago.
Just like Joe. She just
like
dropped in on us.
She just dropped in on us. We loved it. It was great. We enjoyed having Kelly here. And by the way, I am not going to say inflatable cock on the show.
Okay.
Duly noted, buddy.
No,
what did you say?
Inflatable dick.
What?
There was an inflatable winky dink at the church.
They didn't show up this past week.
No, they didn't. And I was disappointed.
Well, what I thought was they need some inflatable Viagra.
Yeah. Well,
because
maybe.
Apparently they couldn't get it up enough to show up again.
I just figured Catboy wouldn't give up the big penis.
Well, you have it on good authority that the penis was not a product of the organizers, but was somebody else that came to their little party and brought the penis.
Yeah, that is the saggy excuse.
That is a sad, saggy excuse.
That is a saggy excuse. They claim that that wasn't us. It's open to the public. Well, it's your event, and we don't believe you anyway.
Open to the public. You organized in front of a church to protest.
And you brought a penis.
Protest them labeling books. Do we have that thing?
Yes. Yeah. If you look in there, if you look on your Facebook Messenger.
Get off me, Larry.
No, Facebook Messenger, and there it is,
there
right
it is.
there.
There it
all
is.
Right, so the Co-Main Library has this book labeling system. See all the little colors, all the pretty colors?
Those are pretty color.
Yeah, all those little pretty colors indicate a different subject.
Okay.
Right, the subject can be whatever, right? But if you go to the next one, and you'll see how you have a
yellow
green,
on the little books
a
below
green
it?
dot, and you have a yellow dot and a blue dot.
Okay, so there we go.
See, this book may contain sexually explicit material. That's the Co-Main Library, and see the circle up there above it?
Is she arrow?
Yeah,
Are you
it's
sure
a
that's
little
the
yellow
circle?
that indicates what type of book it is. So it is a generic warning label for
Okay.
any book that contains sexually explicit material, and there is no. If you look at the pink dot, see
Yeah.
the pink dot is for LGBTQ designation books.
The pink dot?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I'm having, it's kind of a blurry, it's not the best photo in the world, but I do thank
Trying to zoom in.
the people who got me this for tonight's show. I thank
Big concerns for little people. Okay, what
Right.
does it say? Okay, so the pink one right there.
The
yeah.
pink one is LGBTQIA+.
The alphabet mafia.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, and then you have white, you have green, which is health, it says.
Okay.
And yellow, which I cannot read.
It says
Firsts, FIRSTS, I don't know. First day of school.
so first day of
Yes.
school.
Green is
haircut.
divorce and single parents.
Yep.
Purple is,
The light green.
yeah, the light green is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Adoption and foster
So
care.
this is
in
what
blue.
the brouhaha is.
Yes.
Is they want to make sure all these labels are correctly on the books that are presented at the library.
The left-wing extremist nut jobs that are protesting because they don't believe that books
Should be labeled.
with sexually explicit content for children should be limited to or be put behind any kind of labels where parents have to give their consent for their kids to read about how to give blowjobs or how to butt slam your buddy while you're waiting for the bus.
So there should be no limit to who can view this material.
Right.
That's
So, and a lot of these books, and if you remember, about 2.5 years ago, we did an in-depth investigation of these books and actually read some of them on the show.
We did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
we did. And one of them was called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. There
Yep.
was another one called Genderqueer.
Yep.
I think there was another one called This Book is Gay. And there were several books that we went through on the show, and none of them should be in the hands of children.
Not only that, multiple videos we played of parents trying to read these books at school board meetings,
getting shut down,
and
threatened,
even arrested and taken out.
Exactly.
Now, if you can get arrested at a school board meeting for reading that material, why can't we put a little dot on it saying this has sexually explicit content?
You find that amazing that they actually use the FBI to go after
Do they
these
put warning
mothers?
labels on cigarettes?
Mm-mm.
No? No? They put warning labels on alcohol?
Nope. They don't require you to take a driving test to get a license.
No.
To drive a vehicle.
No.
They don't. No. They don't make you get parental consent if you're under 18 to get a tattoo, Larry.
No.
There's a lot of these things, dude, that
They
we
don't
can just do
That's
whenever we
right.
want to.
If you go see the school
So-
nurse in elementary school, they don't have to get parental consent to give them aspirin.
No, of course not. No. We don't have to, no. So none of this applies to what we're talking about because we don't have any other restrictions within life that would be similar to.
Because 6-year-olds can vote.
Right.
And drive a car.
They card you if you buy a nudie magazine at the.
No.
Wait till
But they verify your age.
Nope. Not even to buy cigarettes or alcohol.
Not to buy cigarettes or alcohol.
No. Not
Okay.
even to sign a contract. You can go. A
Yeah.
5-year-old can walk into a Ford dealership and buy a car.
And, with a pack of cigarettes.
And what they're saying is an 11-year-old child doesn't need their parental consent.
Correct.
And so
Yeah.
you wait and see that when these crazies want to have sex with children, and they'll say, well, we didn't do anything wrong because we had the consent of the 11-year-old.
I really don't know how you can't come away from this display, this debate and argument without just simply labeling all of them pedophiles. How are you not a pedophile?
Yeah.
You are.
What, you mean showing penises to kids going to Sunday school?
Dude, if the penis is out there and you say it's not yours, it's an open event,
Uh-huh.
and you don't tell them to leave,
Right.
but the police have to?
Uh-huh.
What is wrong with you?
Well, did you see the photo
Well, they
that
have so much
Larry,
wrong with them.
Did you see the photo Larry posted where that inflatable penis was right by a child in a wagon? But these people are like, well,
you did point that out.
Why do you think LGBT people want to perv on kids? Why do you think, and then you do that and like, what
well,
is
you
that?
said it a couple shows ago that they can't, since they refuse to procreate.
They can't reproduce.
They can't reproduce.
Corrupting
So
children.
they have to convert.
Correct. Well,
not convert, corrupt.
Well, we've played that in the past, and they tried to memory hole that. The San Francisco Gay Choir that got up there and says, "We'll convert your children."
And half of those people were on the
Sex offender list.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other half were about to be.
Yeah. It's sick.
It is sick.
It's really sick.
How do you make this a fundamental platform to argue?
Right.
How did?
And here's the thing: we don't have to demonize this group.
They do it well themselves.
They do it to themselves.
Wow.
I mean, these people, they show up at a church with rainbow flags, dressed in tutus and jumping around in little unicorn costumes, and then displaying 6-foot-tall blow-up penises.
Yeah.
What do you expect? I mean, these people are some sick, twisted.
They are
perverts.
And I don't. I'm a conscious person. I'm
Yes.
very. Joe, you gave me a compliment earlier. I'm very mindful of the people around me and how my behavior affects them. Now, that doesn't mean that sometimes I just don't piss people off because there's no other choice in the matter. Somebody's going to get pissed off because that's where their heart is, no matter what you do for them. Or you're not thinking deep in that moment. You go, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that bothered you. But my whole point is that these people don't even have any depth of consciousness that what they're fighting for might be really perverted and fucked up. They have no concept of that. They're just straight up going, we're going to show those Jesus people by parading around their lawn. If somebody shows up with a penis in a folding chair next to a child, power to the people. I think they didn't show up last week because they didn't have any inflatable Viagra to go with the penis, so it was just too flat. They couldn't get it up.
Well, they didn't show up because that inflatable thing made them look so stupid that if they showed up again, then people can't take them seriously.
How can you? But how can you?
But then again, when you do that and then you do a pagan ritual in front of an elementary school, that kind of shows you that you're not really you're not speaking for the average normal American against GOP, fascism, extremism. Just nuts. You're nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts, and it's just it's
I understand that the sheriff's department was on site and they were charged with if anyone presented a inflatable whatever, they were to be arrested. They also had private security guards there as well.
So I do have an article to read. This is local.
Oh, Larry, it's not your time yet. It's not your turn yet. It's not your turn yet, Larry.
This is not a lightning round.
Yeah, this.
Go ahead, Larry. I'll let you.
I appreciate it.
I'll let you.
Oh, go on, Larry.
This is by Jessica Matthews and Nick. I'm not going to pretend to be able to pronounce that. Rajakovic?
Right.
Yeah, Rajovic?
I don't know. You're reading it.
Yeah. I apologize, Nick.
I apologize.
Okay. An upcoming forum organized by a group local conservatives argue is causing division with the Howell community is billed as defending the rights to read. All right, now I'm going to correct the article. Defending the right to read pornography and sexually explicit material, especially LGBTQ content, by kids under the age of 18. There you go.
There you go.
Freedom of access of information. Following actions taken at the Heartland Comaine District Library. Okay, it's entitled Emergency Community Forum. Book banners run Heartland's library and hosted by SAGE, or Stand Against Extremism, Livingston County, to a fight for the First Amendment. Now, I want everybody to know here that, first off, SAGE does not, and will not stand against extremism because they are extremists.
Right.
You know, they're not fighting for the First Amendment.
No.
They loathe the First Amendment.
100%.
They are fighting to groom children. They are fighting to put LGBTQ extremist crap
Yep.
in kids' hands without parental consent.
Yep.
Now, these are the people that want to put boys in girls' bathrooms, girls' locker rooms, girls' showers, boys and girls' sports. They want to put these dirty, filthy, nasty books in all the libraries, including school libraries.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also the very same people that would transition your child without your knowledge.
Right.
Because that's what these far lefters do. Right?
Yes.
The forum is scheduled on Thursday, September 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Heartland's Historic Music Hall to discuss the situation and ideas, how they can work together moving forward to help children receive their pornographic LGBTQ cultist groomer books. Now, I would suggest that everybody goes there.
Yeah.
To this event. Everybody.
Go
I think
check it out.
Everybody should go check this event out. And we should tell them with their voices, keep it peaceful, use your voices.
Yep.
And tell them what you think of them.
Gotta use your words, man.
Gotta use your words. Gotta use your words. I mean, these perverts and pedophiles need to be called out. What's the Bible say about using your voice as a trumpet?
Call it out, man.
Call it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a public space.
There is a note here. This is on Thursday, September 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Heartland's Historic Music Hall. Everybody should go there. Should be protesters outside protesting these perverts. And people should be signing up online. You just go, I don't know, they have a Facebook page, Stand Against Extremism, LivCo. You should be able to sign up for it there and get inside the event.
Extremism.
Yes. So you
By
can
being extreme.
so you can ask questions.
Well, I've been at these library meetings,
Mm-hmm.
and the left they take over the room. There's very little representation.
Unless we show up with the camera.
Yeah,
So-
we need more people.
Yeah.
As many of you as possible need to flood this event and show up there. And some of you that can't get in, bring signs and you know, if you got a megaphone, bring a megaphone.
Stop. Let me see your megaphone. All right. We good on this subject? Any other thoughts?
Well, no. The music hall and the library are not sponsoring or endorsing this event. In more recent weeks, the group has been organizing demonstrations outside Floodgate Church during weekend services to draw attention to what Sage calls harmful public changes that Floodgate pastor and co-main library board president Bill Bolin had been allegedly drafting with lawyers from Project 2025 Advisory Board, Alliance Defending Freedom. Now that's another lie. Okay, this has nothing to do with Project 2025. Maybe there's something that's similar, and I don't know. I haven't read Project 2025, but this is about common sense. He ran on this.
They've tried to slap that label on from
They try
day one.
to slap it on everything. They want to everything
don't
they
even know what-
disagree with is Project 2025. We don't like it. Project
And
2025.
do you know what Project 2025 is?
It's something the Heritage Foundation put out.
They put it out and they asked anybody that wanted to contribute with conservative ideas, wherever they fell in the spectrum, to contribute their ideas, and they put it together as a project of a vast majority of opinions. Trump had nothing to do with its impetus,
Nothing.
and nothing to do with implementation, because it was never meant to be implemented. It was meant to be a book of ideas.
Anytime I heard him speak on the subject, he said
He disavowed
basically,
it.
I don't, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if Pastor Bill Bolin knows what Project 2025 is. So, I mean, I haven't had that conversation with him. It says, Floodgate members accuse Sage of intimidating and antagonizing families as they enter and exit the church, including with a large inflatable penis. Sage responds to WHMI to say, the person with the prop in question, the giant cock, right, is not a Sage member, and these protests are open to the public. Well, you know what?
You didn't boot him.
Yep, you didn't boot him, but the police did.
Yeah.
You're responsible for what you did.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I've got
You
a
didn't-
question.
But by the way, them saying they didn't do that doesn't mean that they didn't do that.
Correct. They're liars.
They're a pack of liars. They're documented liars.
Yeah.
Joe, what's your question?
I've got a question and tell me if this thought is ridiculous or you agree with it. But I think these, anytime you take a group like the LBGT group, the Democratic Party uses that group as a victim. And they shine the light and make a big deal out of this group that's what, 0.2% of the population or whatever. And they make them victims so that they can then come in and save the day for these people. Oh, you're a victim. We're behind you. We're going to support you.
Yep.
And what that does is that creates tension, and that's what generates all this nonsense.
100%.
And their goal, the Dems' goal, is what that does is it empowers the Democratic Party, because now these victims, who are they going to look to save them? The Democratic Party, and it divides us. It's conquer and divide.
Yeah. And
I think that's where it originates. Does that make
well,
sense?
sure. And the only one victimizing the LGBTQ is the LGBTQ. They victimize themselves.
Yeah.
I saw a comedian. It was hilarious. He said he was talking, and he said, you know, the most violence in relationships, lesbians. The highest divorce rate and the most violence. You know, the second highest divorce rate. He said heterosexual men. He goes, you know what? The first relationship has 2 women involved. Second relation has 1 woman involved. He said, you know, the least violence and the least divorce is gay men. He goes, what's the deal? There's not a woman.
No woman involved. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
The actual stats on that is 55% of all first marriages end in divorce. 78% of all seconds, and like 87% of all thirds. Now, let's step outside of heterosexual. Between 2 men, 28% of a 28% divorce rate. Okay, between 2 women, 87%. So what's the problem? Where's the problem? The problem is women.
Oh, if my wife is listening, honey, sweetie,
no,
I'm not
no.
agreeing with that.
Yeah, no, we're on record. No,
It's the facts. It's the statistics.
Yeah.
See, honey? See? Oh. In case my wife is watching.
I'll just catch up on chat.
Catch us up on chat.
In relation to what Patrick just said, John Bowie says, most violence, most pedophilia, etc. All those alphabet people.
Oh, 100%.
And then Jeffrey Mayo is saying...
Choking somebody out?
Let it be known that I did not choke a single person at my BBQ fundraiser in Fowlerville, and the chicken was definitely seasoned. And then I'll go on YouTube. Andrew Schmidt says, get Keir Stalin out of office, and he also says, I live in Tennessee, most people own guns, never felt safer.
100%. Keir Starmer, he's the Prime Minister of UK.
Yeah.
That's who he wants out of there.
And
I agree 100%.
And everybody should know
He's
that
a
if you're
groomer.
watching this show, you can participate by logging in on Rumble.
Yeah, if you're logged in on Rumble, don't be a spectator.
Yeah. Don't be a spectator. Take
Give
part
us
in the show.
a great name on
And
there.
don't
on
forget
your
to
chat
give us
and
a
log in.
like. Give us a
All right,
Rumble.
we're gonna shift gears from the groomers here, the local groomers here in Heartland, to another thing that Larry brought us. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna talk about.
All right, this was 12 minutes old when I sent it to you.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna
this
talk
is
about
breaking news.
Okay.
Cracker Barrel has done a backtrack and is keeping its logo.
Okay.
So, and Donald Trump has already congratulated them.
Good job. You know, we like the old logo. It's great. It's wonderful. It's really impressive. I think the logo should come up and say a few things tonight. Logo? Nothing to say. Okay. Yeah, it's a great logo.
Yeah, they should have just changed it to say Chapter 11.
Exactly.
Because they really, I mean, in $143 million their stock loss.
Okay.
What
the story behind the Cracker Barrel, the original story as to how that came to be, is that, and I don't, for some reason I'm just not working at all.
Okay.
Is that the barrel was a potbelly stove in the middle of a store, and the cracker was you know, the people that were hanging around it. That's where the community came to communicate, to hang out, and to share some fellowship and share some time. They didn't have telephones back then, so that
part
was
of the center, the city square, the town square.
Right.
So
and so that's where they gathered, and so that's history. And then they get this new CEO that comes in, and she decides to throw history out, and that's where the biggest complaint is.
Could I say something? Is this really a victory? Because did the CEO resign?
No,
Did
but it's pressure, and I'm gonna transition into that showing about the public pressure. One, you're absolutely right, Patrick. And the actual gentleman sitting there in the chair, leaning on the barrel, was the uncle of the original CEO, or one of the uncles, and he would go to every one of the new restaurants that would open. He would be there, and he would be part of the whole grand opening type celebrations, and they loved him. And he was just this good old boy that would show up to these Cracker Barrel stores, you know, and you go in there and you get country fried steak or some biscuits and gravy or whatever. You just get some good food, and then they want to change it because can't have this old white guy leaning on a barrel. We got to change it all up. So they faced all this pressure and backlash, and they had all this stuff. Now contrast that with, look at this. I want you guys to see this. Okay.
Yes.
This is just looking up Sydney.
Those are some nice jeans.
Some Sydney Sweeney. Yes, she's got some very nice jeans. I was going to play the ad, but I want you to see this. Okay.
That work?
This is even DuckDuckGo.
Cuts in and out constantly.
What's your battery power?
Might have to get you a different pack. Anyways, so look at these articles. This is obviously from American Eagle. They're excited about it, right? That's the first thing. But then page six, Sydney, go ahead, Joe. Sydney Sweeney poses in jeans without a top for the new ad. Okay. But then every other article under here, look what it says: sparked backlash. USA Today, ad causes major backlash. Ad, thousands critique. Sydney Sweeney, major backlash. Major backlash, major backlash. One of these said that the ad for American Eagle with Sydney Sweeney is not going to help their stocks. Lie, it already has. It's already helped their stocks. So much so has it had a bump, like the negativity of the Cracker Barrel, that you then go over to see good old Levi's jump on that bandwagon.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, let's see this. See if we can get a community
At the end of the day, what does this give you? Has she helped you reach
I wanted you
new
to play
communities?
the ad, dumbass. Anyways, so Beyonce, it turns up in this Levi commercial where she walks into the laundromat, takes her jeans off, puts them in the washer, and then sits there in her underwear, right? That's the main thrust of the ad. So tell me that the Sydney Sweeney ad didn't work because Levi just tried to copy it, and Cracker Barrel had to back off, and Target's still suffering from selling satanic baby clothes, and Bud Light's still trying to invigorate their...
I don't think Bud Light will ever recover. They're forever branded as tranny fluid, and they did it to themselves.
Totally. Dumb shit.
Yeah.
Hey, great idea. Let's help a dude pretending to be a chick on their anniversary of going 365 days of pretending to be a chick. Let's put them on our beer cans to sell to guys.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a winning strategy. Didn't they lose $40 billion or 40? Was it 40 million or 40 billion? They lost so much market cap. It's surprised they didn't have to file bankruptcy.
Yes. Well, I mean, not to mention their product sucks. There's nothing worse than
Larry
Budweiser.
hates Bud Light.
I don't like Bud Light.
And Bud Light's even worse than Budweiser.
So, anyways,
Jeremy, I'm gonna send you something on Facebook, but it's kind of I got a good image of what's kind of going on right now with all these corporate, all this kind of like corporate consumer wars. My consumable product is better than yours because that.
Right.
It actually isn't focusing on the product. It's focusing on trying to send a message to brainwash the masses. Again, we now consume to live while we live to consume.
Of course.
Look at Messenger.
Holy smallness. I got to open it up in a separate window, Teddy, because it's so tiny. It is very tiny. I try to zoom in. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. Behold, our newest ad campaign. Ooh, tasty. Are you sure this would help us to sell more burgers? Oh, burgers? Are we selling burgers? What do you mean selling burgers? Dude, we've literally watched during sporting events, because that's the main thing I watch with any type of ads. Otherwise, it's streaming services that I if they have ads, it's because I'm paying the cheap version of the streaming. But I watch some of these ads, and I go, I don't know what they just tried to sell me. I don't know what that ad was.
Oh, yeah. They make no sense.
And I don't know what's worse, the ads where I don't have a clue as to what they're trying to sell me, or the ad that tells me for 2 seconds, if you have this problem, they can help you with this. Side effects include asshole falling out, blindness, total skin pigmentation change, disorientation, general thoughts of suicide. Oh, but I've got longer eyelashes. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Consult your doctor if you're allergic to this stuff. Wait, I got to go to my doctor first to get a prescription for this, and I won't know until I take it whether I'm allergic to it. If you or a loved one has died while taking this, please contact us. We're here to help.
What's wrong with that more?
Oh, but wait a minute, Harry. Does the FDA come in to oversee that? Aren't they the procurers of our well-being?
No, once again, yeah.
The FDA, they let the company write their own whatever they want to say about the product that they're trying to deliver. The FDA allows the company to write the script on it.
Yeah.
So it's like going to, it doesn't make sense. There's really nobody watching out for us as far as the food we eat, the drugs we take.
Well, that's the dirty little secret, is the Food and Drug Administration is not...
They're a rubber stamp.
Well, what they are is a labeling. All they're doing is verifying the label. Does the product that you're selling actually reflect in the labeling on the package? That's all they're about. And companies have worked very, very hard to remove certain things from the labeling. We just saw this big push over the last couple of years to force these companies to put genetically modified, this contains genetically modified food on the label. That was a push, consumer push, to get that labeling put on there. They don't tell you what the geoengineering, the bioengineering element is,
right.
But they make them put it on the label that it contains bioengineered food products. So the FDA is never about, all they do is verify that's what's on the label is in the product.
But don't most people think that if it's FDA approved that, oh, this is safe, we're good to go?
Well, you know, cyanide could have FDA approval because it says cyanide on the box and it's got cyanide in it. So it's we approve that that's what it is. Go ahead, Patrick.
FDA approves whoever will pay them the most.
Correct.
There you go.
Pfizer doesn't come out with anything that the FDA won't approve, even though it's poisonous and has adverse health effects. A case in point,
Which
the
is-
RMNA vaccine that we just had to endure.
Like the federal school board, they should just do away with it. It's useless. Worse than useless.
We need to go back to the days when you stand on the strength of your product or you don't. Either your product is healthy and your customers know it, or they don't. But to have a third-party governmental agency that can be bought out. I was thinking about do you know how healthy pomegranates are? Great, they're just great. Pomegranate seeds are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Do you know the 2 studies done on heart health for pomegranates were done by the Pomegranate Institute?
Sure.
Or the conglomerate by Pomegranate, by their own inside people. So you want to believe that it's heart healthy? There may be some heart health to it. But when the study's done by the people that benefit most from it, and they just get a rubber stamp from the FDA saying, yeah, it's good for you.
But who do you think pays for the studies that are done on just about everything?
The companies that are producing.
Why do you think U of M is such a large institution? Is it because they have a lot of people coming through that hospital? Have a lot of people coming through the school? All the research that they have.
Yep.
They get billions of dollars coming from research projects.
What do they have, a $35 billion endowment at the U?
That's one of the reasons I like, if you guys haven't ever checked out Mike Adams, the health ranger.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
Yeah,
But he's got cancer, doesn't he?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He had cancer.
Geez, who doesn't these days? You know, it seems like everybody I talk to has got some form of, major disease they're dealing with.
And I just say I heard that he had cancer. I'm not stating that he does, just for the record.
I'm going to look it up. The health ranger, Mike Adams. Let's see. I don't know that he has anything on here. I'm going to try to go to. Oh, that's just the health ranger's site. Okay, I want to go to. What's this thing called? I was trying to get to the main site, and the name's escaping me. Anyway, so what I love about it is they have, the health ranger, Mike Adams, has a huge privately owned independent testing facility, and they do a ton of testing as well as selling these products. And they'll test anybody's third-party testing. They've got multi-million-dollar equipment to test it all, to verify what's in it. And he often will come out and talk about how the efficacy of things, whether they've been solicited or not. It's Natural News. Natural News is his website. I just remembered as I was scrolling through that. Natural News. This is the first big website for Mike Adams is Natural News. I don't know. We'll have to look that up. Whether he's got. I didn't hear that. He was just on InfoWars.
Yeah, like I say, I heard it. I'm not saying that is fact.
So anyways, yeah, I get what you're saying, Teddy. I understand that, consumers. But we've been so propagandized to have at least a little pushback from the public that are semi-awake to say, we're not going for this woke bullshit, is somewhat of a step in the right direction to at least have the populace waking up somewhat. I mean, it's a step in the right direction instead of us all being lulled to sleep with a bunch of ads. What we got in chat? Catch us up
We got
in
a
chat.
$50 donation from John. Why is my microphone like that? We got a $50 donation from John Bovey saying, we love Barron and we tolerate our boomers. And then,
Wow.
And then Dale's saying, Teddy, wake up. Turn the caps off.
Who's got the caps on?
Probably John Bovey.
Oh, he's not telling you to turn the caps off. He was telling, John Bovey to turn. Okay, yeah. Uncle Ben and Jemima were heroes that we needed more blacks on food. Dude, 100%. That whole bullshit when they got rid of the Indian off the Land O'Lakes and they got rid of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, the Land O'Lakes Indian girl, those were icons.
I stopped buying all their stuff.
You don't.
All of them. I stopped buying all of it.
You don't put those on.
I now buy Log Cabin.
Yeah, that's what I buy. Yeah.
Yep, and butter, Kroger, whatever.
Well, look what's happened to all these sports teams. The Chiefs are no longer the Chiefs.
The Commanders.
The Commanders are Cleveland Commanders.
Yeah.
Cleveland Indians are.
Yeah, you got the Washington Commanders, the Cleveland. What is Cleveland now?
I thought that.
Were they the Commanders too?
I think they might be.
Yeah, what did and Jemima change their name to? They changed it to something. It's not even
Bankrupt.
No, yeah. Is it Pearl Milling Company?
That could be the parent company of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Booby says I only drink Black Rifle coffee.
Eastern Michigan University.
That's how much of a patriot I am.
Eastern Michigan University used to be the Hurons. I graduated a Huron, and they consistently call me for donations as an alum, and I tell them I'm not an Eagle. When you guys go back to being a Hurons, call me. Until then, take my number off your list. And they finally got to the point they don't call me anymore.
And that pisses off a lot of people. A lot of people, because we don't get it. You don't put, listen, man, I'm not going to put the what's a good derogatory term that will fly tonight? You know, you don't put the lazy lesbians on as your team mascot.
Yeah.
That doesn't inspire warrior-like mentality unless they're beating their girlfriend.
Look, the Lakeland Lickers.
It doesn't work.
No.
That's why we have the Tigers. I mean, yeah, you got the Blue Jays, but Blue Jays could be a nasty little bird.
Oh yeah, they
You
are
know,
mean.
Cardinals can be pretty mean and vicious, but then you've got the Eagles, and you've got the San Jose Sharks, and you know, then you got the Mighty Ducks, and that was a whole Disney thing. You know, they put out some good teams, but you know, these are the type of things.
Red Wings.
The Pearl Milling Company, Larry.
Yes.
Oh, you're right, Dale. Dale said that Liz Warren wanted to be on the butter.
Pocahontas.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that makes sense.
Yes.
Are you looking that up, Joe?
Yeah,
Guardians. I looked it up.
Oh, it's the Guardians.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
The Washington Commanders used to be the Washington Redskins, and there's a huge push to bring it back because the actual mascot of the Washington Redskins, the actual picture that you would see for the Redskins, that was a chief that sat down and had his likeness captured because he was honored to be the mascot of that. You know why they'll never change the Chicago Blackhawks?
Why is that?
Because the Chicago Blackhawk tribe is either a high minority or a majority stakeholder in the team. They own the team.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to get that team to change its name unless they get bought out. They're not going to get bought out.
Where do you get this?
It just flies around.
Boy, I'm telling you.
You remember the whole thing with the kid in Kansas City, which we hate because of our Lord and Savior. I can't even say his name. It just Mahomo, our Lord and Savior Mahomo. But Kansas City over there, they had the little kid had the face paint on, black and red, right? And the news media went off on this kid. Oh, this kid's, he's mocking him or like that. He was the great grandson of one of the elders, the chiefs, that actually is part owner of the team, and they got destroyed. They destroyed that guy because he was trying to vilify this kid for, what do they call that when you
mocking?
No, not the cultural appropriation, right? And so they're trying to. The hell, Joe? Is it your time to take pills or something?
No, I'm going to have to power this thing off if it keeps misbehaving.
Okay. But that's he was a tribal, his grandfather or great-grandfather was one of the tribal elders that owned the team. You're not going to get the team to change its name. You're at Arrowhead Stadium. You're the Chiefs. Your grandson puts on, he didn't even put on war paint. He put on black and red, which is the colors of the team. Yeah. And still this woke douchebag news commentator tried to vilify this little kid and ended up just, getting smacked down himself.
Good.
Like a dumbass.
I like seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like seeing that.
Got to see that more often.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks again, John Bovey. That's a great one. We love Barron and we tolerate the boomers. I don't know who he's talking about because I'm not a boomer.
Like maybe he just tolerates Larry on the show.
Well, we all do that, so you're not nothing special.
Yeah.
Acting like he's singling himself out as tolerating somebody. We all have to put up with Larry. What'd you say to me earlier, Larry? You said if I did it right, and if I didn't, you just yell at me anyways.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
I did do it right, by the way.
You did.
So Sunday's podcast is canceled and is moved to the following Sunday.
Because it is...
So Sean Fagan will be on the show to discuss more of what's going on the Howell Township board.
Okay.
We will talk about that. And
I'll allow it.
11 charges against him, which he defeated 10.
Yes. And there's one left that's a joke.
Yes.
Let us go to Natural News, guys. Check that out. Mike Adams does a great job there. I do want to cover this before we... Teddy, you sent me that video that we're going to go to break with, right?
Should we talk about the subject a little bit first, or?
Yeah, I was going to do... What do you want to do? Venezuela and the cartels, or John Bolton, or what's the video on?
Isn't he coming
the video's
in
about the
concert?
Venezuelan cartels.
Yes, Venezuelan cartels.
Isn't he coming in concert soon?
That's Michael Bolton, and I would not know because it's not my style of music.
Just kidding.
At all.
But Ted Nugent's
And this is why we don't always entertain your thoughts on the show.
Ted Nugent.
Oh, so this was back in 2015.
Yes.
Playing Sunday.
Mike
playing
Adams
Friday
on
and
pancreatic
Sunday.
cancer. Okay.
Ted Nugent is? Where?
You should
Well,
know that, Larry.
God's
I
holy
think it's
name
in
are you
Paw Paw
blathering
on
about?
Friday.
Power off.
Yeah, and on the podcast on Sunday.
Yeah, he's in Paw Paw on Friday. And then on Sunday, he is at Freedom Hill in Detroit.
Let's
Can get tickets.
do this, Teddy. Let's do the Venezuela and the cartels after we come back from break because
If you
we'll play
bring
the video.
Shemaine with him, that'd be a great
Does that sound
deal.
good?
Yeah.
Then we can discuss the video.
Okay.
Probably, Joe, are you going to take off at break time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So let's finish. I got two other things in here we can talk about. How have you been, Joe? It's been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
You've been, you're semi-retired now?
Semi-retired, and I want to say that what prompted me to stop by tonight, and I appreciate your being so gracious to allow me to just pop in and be on the show, is I really appreciate everyone here, but Jeremy, I appreciate you, and I appreciate who you are, your integrity and character and insights. Yeah, I just really appreciate calling you a friend.
Thank you, Joe.
And that was my main purpose for stopping in. And I am doing a little volunteerism,
Okay.
a little bit of business. I am putting together a call to action network where folks are, there are many bills that are pending at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do every other week is I pick one bill that we either support or oppose that's in the process of being worked through. It might be in the House, it might be in the committee, and what we're asking folks is to call their representatives before these bills become the law of the land so that we can actually impact the legislation that is being passed by our representatives.
Maybe
So-
make some changes in committee, some stuff like that.
and make some changes in committees.
Yeah.
And so we're doing that, and we have about 40-some people that.
Is there a
have
website for that where people can go check it out?
Not a website.
Or is this a local
it-
kind of a email?
This is just, you email me, and I'll
do we
send
wanna-
you the information.
Yeah, send me that. Send it to me. We got Facebook, right?
No, I'm not on Facebook.
Okay.
But I will send you you've got my
Yeah.
email.
Yeah.
And they can just send it to my
Yeah.
email. But yeah,
let's-
we're looking for more folks to come
Will you
on
give
board.
it to us? And Teddy, can you type it into the chat? Actually, type it into the comment section.
On Rumble?
Oh, you
yeah,
know what?
Rumble. Yeah, in the comment. See the comment section?
Let me go over. Okay, yep.
Just scroll down and type it in there. Go ahead and type it
You
in
know
there.
what? Let me do this.
Oh, you wanna get-
I want to get it, and I'll get it to you.
Okay,
Because
all right.
I've got a separate one, and quite honestly, at this time, I can't remember what it is. So
All right.
I'll get that to you.
But that's
Thank
what you're
you.
up to. How's your summer been going?
It's going good, and we're just taking life a little easier. I'm not so involved like I was politically, but I can tell you this: I look at the best part of my involvement for me are the people that I've met.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
agree with that.
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And so, thank the Lord, that He's allowed me to do what I'm doing and what I've done, and we'll just see where this network, see what the network develops into, and go from there. And I would say also that planting seeds for the kingdom of Jesus Christ is an important ingredient in what I do on a daily basis.
Amen.
Awesome. We know you got that
Yeah.
heart. Yeah.
And that's really what matters above all else.
Yeah, I think we get lost sometimes in the political dynamics, and I got involved because I wanted to connect with my community.
Yeah.
And then I found different dynamics were happening other than community connections. In fact, I had some great community connections with you and some of the other delegates, and then saw that some of the people in leadership are just about being the spotlight and being in charge, and I don't want to cast aspersions right now.
Yeah, well, they're not, and I've said this several times, there's too many people in politics for the wrong reason.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
And like, who was it, John Wayne said every man must know their limitations?
Yep.
And I think that's what has prevented me from really getting any deeper into it.
Well, I think all of us kind of, over the last couple of years, a lot of us took a step back, and we saw that. I remember there was 11 people running for 7 spots in my district, and I came in 7th. I won the 7th spot as a delegate. The following cycle, there were only 5 of us running, period, for 7 spots.
Yeah.
11 for 7, and then 5 for 7. And there's been this, have you seen that?
Yeah, and the thing is, I've thought about it, prayed about it, and Lord, what would you have me do? And getting in that deep in the muck with the local Livingston County GOP party just wasn't where I felt to be led. Been there and done that, and that's why I'm focusing on reaching out to our candidates with this call to action network. And actually, that's what it's all about, is attempting in my small way to hold our politicians accountable.
100%.
That's it. And you can do it through the precinct delegate structure, or you can do it through contacting your representatives directly. So if anybody's interested, it's about a 15 to 20 minute commitment every other week for folks that say, I want to volunteer, I want to help out, I want to make a difference, but I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I've got a busy schedule. This niches that. I'm asking for 10 to 20 minutes every other week.
Now, how do you do that? Do you do that video, or do you do that in person?
I email out.
Oh, so it's 15 to 20 minutes to read something.
Yeah, I mail out, like most call to actions, they tell you oppose or vote for this bill, call your representative, and that's it.
They don't
most
explain
people
it.
don't know who their representative is.
Okay.
I give them a copy of the bill. I give them a version of the bill in simple English. I give them the contact person and their phone number, and sometimes the email. I give them talking points. I mean, it's all spelled out. I email it to them, and they've got the talking points and all the information that they need to have, and they simply call the representative. They sound informed, and they say, listen, we oppose this or we support this.
Right.
And I've been told that it's having an impact. And so
now, Joe, obviously you're making millions of dollars doing this. What huge campaign pack is underwriting your propaganda push?
So that it would be. it's
No,
it's
you do this. You do this
I do
completely
this
for free
myself
because
yeah.
you want people to be informed. You actually care about the country.
Absolutely, and I want people. We need more people to get involved. And here's a way: if you can't give 10, 15 minutes every other week,
to read an email,
to read an email, to call the representative and say, listen, we support House Bill 4322, and this is why. And it takes you, and I only give out 10 names for each volunteer that calls. They only have 10 phone calls to make.
Okay.
So it's simple. It's all the work is done.
Get us that info. We want to keep up
Yeah,
on
I'll get that to you.
and keep going with that. That's great stuff.
But our group, we're calling it Patriots on Legislative Watch.
Okay.
And
It's
so
a little bit of a mouthful, but it actually
it
makes
defines
sense.
what we're doing.
Unlike some of the other acronyms around our county.
Yeah. So
like SAGE.
SAGE.
It stands for Stand Against Guys.
Common sense. Oh wait, that's
Yeah,
a G.
Wait, SAGE stand against
not displaying penises to children. That's what I mean. Stand against not displaying. They are opposed to not displaying their penises.
So
they're for it then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thank you again, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And good to see everybody, and we'll keep in touch.
Well, give me about. We want to go to break now.
Up to
Teddy,
you.
want to do that? All right. So we're going to play video dealing with Venezuela and the cartels. We're going to come back and discuss it. Teddy, I got to click on where you have that for me, buddy.
That is on Facebook.
Let's see. It's
Scroll up
right
a little bit more.
there.
YouTube above.
Right there. Okay. All right, we're going to play this for you guys, and we'll be back in a little bit. Without Joe, thanks, Joe, for coming in.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jeremy.
you, buddy,
Thank
always.
you. I appreciate you.
This is
More than
16
you
minutes.
know.
We're not going to probably play the whole thing, but we'll get us the gist of it once it starts playing. Because right now it's just giving me a swackle. There it is.
My name is Gary Burnson.
Okay.
I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force.
And next time
and retired senior operations officer and chief of station of the Central Intelligence Agency. For over 3 decades, I served in the U.S. national security apparatus in various capacities. Shortly after the attacks of 11 September 2001, I entered Afghanistan and commanded CIA paramilitary forces, helping seize the cities of Talokan and the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul. I was the driving force and architect of the Battle of Tora Bora. I held the position as chief of Hezbollah operation in CIA's Counterterrorism Center for several years and concluded my service in CIA as a chief of station in Latin America combating narco-terrorists. Approximately 6 years ago, a business associate and I began working together as whistleblowers for the Department of Justice, FBI, DEA, and Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. Our target was the largest and most well-funded transnational criminal organization on the planet, called the Cartel del Sol, Cartel of the Sun. The Cartel del Sol is the Venezuelan government and is led by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, Diosdado Cabello, Minister of Defense Vladimir Lopez Padrino, President of the National Assembly Jorge Rodriguez, and former Director General of Military Counterintelligence Hugo Carbajal, who was detained in Spain several years ago and extradited to New York. He is currently awaiting trial for narco trafficking. Venezuelan President Maduro has a U.S. indictment and bounty of U.S. $15 million for his capture. Diosdado Cabello has a U.S. indictment and a $10 million bounty on his head. At least 6 other Venezuelan cabinet members and senior officials are indicted. In the last 20 years, the Cartel del Sol has stolen $1 trillion from Venezuela's national oil company, PDVSA, and embezzled $500 billion from its national treasury. It not only has, but continues to produce and smuggle 25 to 40 metric tons of cocaine every month out of its country into the world. The Cartel del Sol is a $2 trillion transnational criminal organization and the most well-resourced criminal syndicate in history. Through bribery and investments of its funds, it controls 12 countries and world leaders. It has massive investments in the U.S. and European financial markets and institutions. As we conducted investigations against the Cartel del Sol and presented them one after another to the U.S. Department of Justice, we noticed and pursued leads from the cartel's money laundering operations to the world of non-governmental organizations and election companies. After witnessing election irregularities associated with the 2020 U.S. presidential election, we decided to direct time and resources to Cartel del Sol links to U.S. and global election fraud. After an exhaustive 3.5-year investigation, it is indisputable. Smartmatic Election Systems was created at the direction of now deceased Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez, and its source code, the basis of its operating system, developed jointly by Venezuela's Consejo Nacional Electoral and Smartmatic, was designed to allow election results to be altered without the knowledge of voters and the public. Additionally, the Venezuelan CNE holds ownership of Smartmatic's source code. Each time the Venezuelan CNE and Smartmatic update the source code, a copy of it is stored at the vault at the Venezuelan Central Bank. In 2005, a European Union electoral observation mission to Venezuela published a report stating the Venezuelan regime owns Smartmatic source code. The Venezuelan government signed that report as factual. Smartmatic's first election in Venezuela was the 2003 recall election of Hugo Chavez. The CNE director at the time, Jorge Rodriguez, at the direction of the Cuban Directorate General of Intelligence, DGI, hired 3 Venezuelan American computer engineers that were graduates of Simón Bolívar University, a Venezuelan university linked to the U.S. university MIT. They had already registered a software company in Delaware and opened an office for it in Boca Raton. The engineers, Antonio Mujica, Roger Peñate, and Alfredo Anzola, established Smartmatic at the direction of the Venezuelan regime, built the source code, and flew off to Italy to buy lottery machines from Olivetti to serve as election hardware. They succeeded in altering enough votes to ensure Hugo Chavez's victory in the recall election. Secure in power, President Chavez decided to weaponize this capability beyond Venezuela's border. Smartmatic would enter into the U.S. election market in Cook County, Illinois, and the state of New Jersey for Democratic Party primary races in 2006. In 2005, Smartmatic orchestrated the purchase of Sequoia Voting Systems, Inc., a U.S. company. Sequoia was a company that had conducted elections in the U.S. for over 100 years and had a 22% market share of the U.S. electoral market. Approximately 18 months later, the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, CFIUS, began investigating the ownership of Smartmatic because of Smartmatic's Venezuelan connection. Smartmatic immediately put its source code in the machines, in the Sequoia machines. Smartmatic tried to conceal its Venezuelan connection by hiring a former U.S. naval officer, Jack Blaine, to set up a holding company, SVS Holding, to place its ownership of Sequoia in stock. In December 2006, Smartmatic entered into an agreement with CFIUS to sell Sequoia in 6 months. Antonio Mujica, one of the 3 original founders, then found a little-known election company in Toronto, Canada, Dominion Election Systems, that had only managed one small local election in Toronto. He arranged for Dominion to purchase Sequoia. Dominion, owned by John Polis, with that purchase of Sequoia, would inherit a licensing agreement for Smartmatic's source code, the source code owned by the Venezuelan regime, i.e. the Cartel del Sol. To be clear, Smartmatic and Dominion would ultimately sign an agreement that provided Dominion with the U.S. market and Smartmatic the international global market. The only two exceptions are that Smartmatic does elections in Los Angeles County and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was an issue they ultimately settled in court. In Caracas, in a building owned by the CNE, the Consejo Nacional Electoral, more than 100 software engineers, half from the CNE and half from Smartmatic, worked side by side. Their effort for more than a decade was to perfect the techniques of altering elections and defeating audit. In 2018, Smartmatic publicly, and with the approval of the Venezuelan regime, broke with the regime, the Cartel del Sol, because the Venezuelan CNE's theft of an election was so egregious. The techniques of the source code and machine operate and conceal the theft of an election when the spread of the candidates is between up to the 3 to 5 percentage points. As sophisticated as the machine is, it can be defeated with significant turnout against it. The recent 2024 election in Venezuela was also so blatantly stolen, and the machine could not conceal that massive spread either. In its place, a company called XClay took Smartmatic's place as the election provider in Venezuela. Allowing Smartmatic to exit Venezuela in this fictitious manner allowed the regime to retain its power and influence over the global electoral market. Smartmatic built a production facility for electronic voting equipment hardware just outside Beijing, China, and then shipped the hardware to a warehouse in Taiwan. In violation of U.S. law, the hardware was marked as manufactured in Taiwan and shipped to both Smartmatic and Dominion for use in U.S. elections. Dominion Voting Systems manages elections in almost all the swing states in the U.S., which determines who wins the presidency. We have evidence and witnesses that can prove the source code operating the election machines of both Smartmatic and Dominion and other election companies are owned by the Venezuelan narco regime. We have evidence and witnesses proving the machines are manufactured in the People's Republic of China. Every citizen needs to be asking, where's the DOJ, FBI, CISA, and where's the CIA? Is anyone in the national security apparatus defending our democracy or enforcing the law? And if that isn't enough to convince you there's a major problem, Dominion, in an additional step to conceal its manipulation of U.S. elections, moved its research and development and servers, which store swing state voting information, to its office in Belgrade, Serbia. In the Belgrade office, Venezuelan, Chinese, and Serbian software engineers maintain system administrator status over swing state elections and alter elections as directed by the Cartel del Sol, the Cuban DGI, and the Chinese CCP. The facility and its personnel are protected by Serbia's counterintelligence service. Swing state voter information is saved on Huawei servers in Dominion's Belgrade office. These servers are linked to Huawei servers in Hong Kong, China. For years, the U.S. national security apparatus has identified Huawei and its technology as a threat to U.S. national security. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, a component of the United States Department of Homeland Security, is responsible for cybersecurity and infrastructure across all levels of government. CISA has 3,100 employees and a $2.9 billion budget. In 2020, when faced with calls to address election irregularities, CISA did a conference call with Smartmatic and Dominion in order to better able to address the public's concerns and assure everyone that there have been no irregularities. Yes, it's shocking.
All right, we're back, and we didn't take Joe out of the mix there. You guys can scoot together now. Scoot together. Oh, and I guess I should come back from the screen. That's a good report. You guys didn't hear that though.
I had my headphones in though.
Yeah, I had mine in. So basically, break it down for us, Teddy, a little bit more. Just give us the Cliff Notes on that.
So I wanted to bring that video up because we were going to talk about what's going on with Venezuela and the U.S. kind of deployment, naval deployment along Venezuela.
Okay.
So obviously what we have right now is a drug problem.
Is your pack on?
Isn't that pack on?
Your microphone pack.
It's on, yeah.
Okay. No, you're good. I just wasn't hearing you as loud.
Test. You hear?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. So, what was it?
Venezuelan,
So obviously we have a drug problem, and a lot of people think that just only the cartels in Mexico that are kind of the main providers of these substances for our country. Well, what a lot of people don't really realize is that the Venezuelan government is also a multi-international drug cartel that basically provides a lot of capital, weapons, and even product for the Mexican cartels. And this is headed by the leaders of the armed forces of Venezuela, Venezuelan government, as was stated in the video.
Right.
Cartel de Sos. So what's going on in Venezuela is that Trump is sending Navy out along the coast in order to, I guess, probably show Venezuela, who is really in charge and that we know about what's going on.
Right. Do what you want in your country, but as soon as your boats come out of there with drugs, we're going to...
But that's how, we sanction Venezuela, a lot, but that's how they in Cuba can influence the region. Through drug running, drug cartels, drug trafficking. And that's how they and this along with what you were hearing in that video about controlling the software code, the source code, and election voting machine companies.
Right. Now, didn't Fox News lose a court case, or at least settle out of court for going after Dominion or Smartmatic? Which I hope one day will be overturned, but didn't they lose that?
Yes.
Okay.
If they settled, it doesn't matter. It can't be overturned.
All right, there we
go. You settled it. It's history.
Is it?
Yep.
And they may have done that because there was other stuff that was there. Okay. So I was trying to see if there was a Venezuela thing right here in the top of InfoWars.
Probably have to search it up on to see.
Well, I think you've covered it pretty good, and the video covered it as far as the Smartmatic idea.
But that's what I think is going on in Venezuela. People are going to say, why are we doing this? It's because Venezuela is basically the largest and more powerful narco state because their government and army is basically a cartel that controls all the other drug trafficking and cartels
as well as
the Americas.
As well as elections.
Yes, as well as
with the
having
Chinese.
connections with the Chinese and Cubans, and basically being a bad actor, in a sense, throughout our backyard. So I think that's, if people are seeing anything about why we're doing all these ships along Venezuela's coast, that's the real kind of reason why. Because Venezuela is a lot more dangerous than one would think. Just because you have a weaker ground army doesn't mean you can cripple a country. You can cripple a country in other ways.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, good on that. I was looking for something, but I'm not finding it.
I'm liking this.
DC has been murder-free for how many days now, Larry?
12 days.
12 days.
12 days was yesterday, so actually it's 13.
13
today,
days
yep.
of murder-free.
13 days of
and
no murders.
All they needed to do was put the National Guard, which Trump has every right to do in D.C. because it is.
Yes, he does.
But he doesn't have the right to do it in any other state or any other city.
Yeah, he does for 30 days.
Well, he's offering to help.
Right.
Is it nationalizing the...
Democrats do not want to clean up their cities.
No, of course not. No. We never let a good tragedy go to waste. There was the let's see what this looks like over here. Get off the screen, Alex. Wow, Democrat Chicago mayor repeatedly refuses to answer whether 5,000 more cops on the street would help stop crime. Could Teddy or Larry on your laptops or phones look it up real quick? How many people were murdered last weekend? Just this past couple days ago.
Chicago?
In Chicago. How many people were shot?
I heard that today. I think it
70 something. 70,
It's such a thing that there's actually an over and under.
How many people were
betting.
shot in?
Oh, really?
Yeah. That you can bet on how many people are going to be killed.
How many people were shot in Chicago over the last weekend?
So I love it that Larry does it stealthily.
I see a CBS article from a day ago. 6 dead, 27 hurt in Chicago weekend shootings.
Okay.
Yep.
But D.C., one of the crime, the highest crime rates in the nation, next to Chicago and, was it New York or L.A.? One of the two. Has been murder, stabby, death, kill.
Yeah, it says
free
here.
for 13 days.
34 people shot.
34 people shot. But the mayor, let's see how he dodges this question. I don't know what he's saying. This is the morning.
Would
Joe.
you also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago? Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want, and I said those are good and important programs, but I'm asking also, would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but I know it's not policing alone. You've told me everything else you want.
She touches his
I'm
arm.
curious, and this does come down to an ideological difference between people. Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place?
That's what makes it
which
amazing.
Do have a history of being successful. If that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago.
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you that all of these other social programs are extraordinarily important. I just need a yes or a no. And then this will be the last time I ask. If you get all of those other social programs that 800 million that New York City does, Los Angeles, other people do with great success, would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported. I don't believe that just simply putting out an arbitrary number around police officers is the answer. What I'm saying is policing and affordable housing. It's policing and mental and behavioral health care services. It's
so
policing
then just say yes,
and
5,000 cops would help.
It's a full package.
No, he can't do it. No, just say 5,000 cops would help. And I appreciate the offer from the president, and all that.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well,
I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man.
A new shit has come to light, and you're not privy to all that. What do you think, guys, about this Dodger here? Well, Roger Dodger.
Well, he's only dodging because he is inclined to not upset people in the city that would be angry about having more cops. That's how he gets in, quote unquote, elected power.
Has nothing to do with that. He doesn't want to agree with anything Trump. This is offered by President Trump. And since he's a Democrat, extreme left wing, he doesn't want to agree with anything that comes out of Trump. If it was Liz Warren that offered it, he'd probably eat it up. If it was anybody else but Donald Trump, he would eat it up. Because it's Trump, he says no. So, and he's letting people's lives go in danger.
How many this past weekend?
Did you see, I should have brought this up at dinner, but did you see this like tweet from this one woman who's like, I got carjacked. But I don't, yeah. Can you believe that? That's the kind of people
I got carjacked, but I don't want any help from Trump.
But these are the kind of people that guy answers to.
Correct.
You got to realize, like, oh, you can say, oh, these individuals.
So you're both exactly right.
But these individual politicians, they represent, you say, oh, this guy's an idiot, this guy's stupid. But who do they represent? They're just an
outgrowth. You get the leadership you
get the leadership you vote for. It's like that in the UK. You get arrested for having a knife, or you get arrested for flying an English flag, or you get arrested for questioning mass migration. Well, guess what? You vote for Conservative or Labor. That's what you get, and you tolerate it, and you tolerate it, and you tolerate it.
When what's his name was in there? The Brexit guy.
Boris?
No. The third party guy that came in and.
Farage?
Yeah, Nigel Farage. When Nigel Farage was in there, they were a powerhouse. They gained so many seats and were doing so much, and they were behind the Brexit. The Great Britain leaving the European Union.
Well, what's interesting...
Dynamic. And they quickly once he got power, he stuck to his word and said once we got things done, he was going to step back. As soon as he stepped back, it all collapsed.
Well, what's interesting is that Nigel Farage's party is leading like by over 10 points in a lot of general election polls in the UK.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, actually, we don't need to do mass deportations. He's moving more left-wing for some reason instead of...
Really? I haven't heard that. Okay.
But it's just, again, you got to realize that half of the people here, right, like the people that are inflating balloons and all that in front of children, they are the quintessential system robot pawns. They are told what the system, they're what the system and the regime want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're rebelling against something. No, you're the mouthpieces of the system. You're the mouthpieces of the corporations that support all the pride parades and support all this other stuff, and trans kids and all that. You're not against extremes. You're not revolutionary. You're the anti-revolutionaries.
Totally. You're the ones going along with it.
And you're lame and boring. Also, you're like, oh, if we got to be more masculine. We got to win back the average working class people. We need to support trans rights and trans kids. No, that's not it. You got to be more against the system and the corporatism and the international backing that has caused the downfall of our country.
I'll tell you what. I was talking with somebody the other. Was I talking? Oh, we were talking on Sunday show with Shane and Dennis, and I said, they were talking about how the younger generation, your generation, Teddy, and even a little bit younger, are becoming more and more conservative, or coming out more strongly as conservative, what we would consider conservative. And Shane noted, he said, and the women are much less conservative. They're still leaning over on this leftist side on a lot of issues. And I said, yeah, but the trend is heading towards those guys because those are real men. And at the end of the day, women, no matter how much lefty they got in their head, are attracted to real alpha males, real men. And that's why this woke bullshit doesn't fly. It doesn't work because that doesn't attract real men. Aren't attracted. A real man wants to be around another real man because they can be buddies. They don't want to be around a beta male. They don't want to be around some limp-wristed. I used to remember there's some churches that I was in there, and they would go, "Show me your wrist." It was a thing to say. You just said something that sounded a little gay. Show me your wrist. Meaning if you put your hand out like this, you're all right. But if you put your hand out like that, you're a little limp-wristed, man. It ain't cool. Show me your wrist. The brothers would, stop it, Larry.
Larry.
You like the gay frogs.
What if you put it all like
gay
this?
Fish.
You can do it that just as long as it doesn't limp.
Like
That's
this?
not right. Yeah, don't do that. That's not right, Larry. Look,
on,
speaking of stuff.
Stone toss.
Actually, the First Amendment lets me desecrate any flag I want. Oh, you drove over top of my LGBTQ rainbow that I painted on the road where people drive.
You see Massachusetts.
How dare you?
How dare you? See Massachusetts. It's a bunch of people in Massachusetts. They have the road with an Italian flag, and the Massachusetts and the local government keeps trying to paint over the Italian flag.
Of course, but the the alphabet mafia, because we have special rights. We just want equal rights that are better than everybody else gets.
We just want to get married. We want men to become women, women to become men.
Men can
we just
have
want
babies
kids.
too.
We want kids to read the books. What's next? Slippery slope.
You don't listen. It's in the word menstruation that menstruate. So you can't say that men don't menstruate because it's in it. The word men is in the name. Just makes common sense. I don't understand why you don't get it.
Because science says they can't.
What?
The stupid science thing.
Well, actually, according to Dr. Fauci and a recent expert study by the experts, men can...
Fauci. Dr. Fauci.
I don't know. I'd have to ask Dr. Fauci. I wonder what Dr. Fauci would say. Can men...
Oh, those on the screen behind me? I'm scrolling through them, not realizing they're... Wake up, America! Trump has little hands. Oh, that's the Democrats.
Yeah.
Trump has little hands. He's got little hands. Imitating me is the sincerest form of desperation.
Governor Newsom?
Newsom.
Yeah. That guy is a real piece of human garbage.
Who was it that I just heard somebody, maybe I was on X or something like that, and she said, before Newsom took office, they had a multi-billion-dollar surplus in their budgetary government. 2 years in, and they're contemplating bankruptcy because they don't have enough money.
Of course not.
And you want to run for president on that record?
And he's he's probably the best chance the Democrats got.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Unless we want Pete Boothead or whatever his name is.
Boot Judge.
Well, I heard it was going to be AOC and Gretchen Whitmer.
It could be. All right, what do we think about the Bolton, the old Bolton raid there, guys?
It's all show and feeder until he's in jail. That's
Okay.
all I got to say.
That's Teddy's take. Larry, what'd you think?
I think it's a great first step.
You sporting a similar mustache there, buddy.
Yes, we need to check John Bolton's mustache because I'll bet you there's some top secret documents
It's
underneath.
probably in there. Now, Roger Stone was quite excited about the grand juries being convened and John Bolton being raided there. I was clicking through to find it. Patrick, how did you feel about the John Bolton?
I think it needs to be the first of many.
Yeah.
It just needs to be the start.
That's right, a great first step.
Now, do we know offhand, as I'm trying to find the article, I didn't have that pulled up, what the impetus of that? I know his top secret has been revoked a while back, but do we remember what the impetus of the raid was for?
Classified documents, ironically.
Oh, so
He was hiding classified documents in his mustache.
in his mustache, but they raided his house. So it must
But
have
people
fell out
were speculating the book he wrote. I don't know when, but it was like related to
Oh,
the
yes.
book he wrote.
Okay, so they're trying to find that.
But here's my take on it. You tried doing this with us. You sent your NKVD, FBI goons and all that to get us and all that. You called us extremists. So how about this? How about you get a little bit of pushback, right? How about you get a taste of your own medicine, right? I'd love to see everybody against us get arrested. Democrats and all those people that were against us and want us in camps and want everything closed down and call us extremists, call us Nazis and all that. How about you get what you deserve and what you tried to pull on us?
Yeah, to me, they're calling it a revenge tour. It's not about revenge. You are a bunch of criminals.
And then
you need to be held accountable.
And then the mainstream dinosaur media is already saying, "Oh, when Newsom comes to power, if Newsom gets elected, they need to go harder on us than what they were already doing."
I like Bill Maher these days. He's kind of really flipped over.
He's getting a little bit going. We'll go back to that one. I was trying to find there's 914 arrests as of 2 days ago in D.C. cracking down on crime, and it has been murder-free.
Again, we have these headlines of 900 arrests, but how many are getting bailed out or charges dropped by these judges and these lawyers that are still infesting D.C. and all these cities?
Trump just signed an executive order that you won't get government funding if you have no cash bail. Wait, you were saying something about Farage not wanting it, and this is an article here from 2 days ago.
What I was referring to was like a couple months ago. He was saying, "Oh, mass deportations are unacceptable."
According to this one, Farage is saying,
"Well, good. You know
Farage is currently the favourite to become UK's next Prime Minister. Said a reform government would implement a policy of detain and deport to prevent migrants from staying in the country. The policy, dubbed Operation Restoring Justice, is set to be published in full on Tuesday. It will include a plan to scrap the Human Rights Act brought in by Prime Minister Tony Blair and to withdraw the UK from the European Convention on Human Rights. Despite leaving the EU, Britain is still bound by the convention and responsible to the human rights courts in Strasbourg, because it is technically a separate institution from the EU." So Farage down here promised that hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants would be deported, with 5 charter flights running each day to remove them year-round.
Well, I think what I was referring to was like months-old news of what I saw months ago.
Okay.
But it's good. As I said before, we are kind of binded. We're kind of playing by the rules of this human rights industrial complex, where these human rights, quote-unquote, lawyers and judges keep blocking anything that is meant to be meaningful against immigration.
Right.
So, you know what? That is a somewhat good thing if we are trying to get rid of that rule book and get rid of these institutions that is preventing meaningful change within our systems, within Europe and whatever. But that was what I was saying before. Mm-hmm. The human rights industrial complex, and these lawyers were like, "Oh, everybody is human, open borders, bridges, build bridges, not walls." Those are the people that are in the courts and the lawyers and all that are stonewalling what is going on with a lot of meaningful stuff that Trump is going with, like immigration-wise. And as you can see, Europe, too, they have this European Court of Human Rights and they did this, too, with a couple countries like Poland. It's actually, Poland wants to deport all these illegal migrants, but this international institution says, "Oh, actually, you can't do that." And then they don't do anything. Because they're still playing by the globalist, neoliberal, Marxist rule book, and we need to kind of get rid of that. We need to break the chains that hold us down, so to speak.
Let's see what Patrick was looking at with Bill Maher. Oh, he's talking about the slow-moving coup. Let's see what he has to say on that. Oh no, that's just a headline.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we want the YouTube stream taken down a second time?
Bill Maher claims Trump is slowly instituting martial law via slow-moving coup. Now, I love the DC dynamic, but I put in here in our notes today the fascist light. I like nationalizing the police there in D.C. But D.C. is owned by the federal government. It's set off. It's constitutional that it's they've tried to make it a state and all this other garbage. But it's literally it's owned. So for Trump to say, "No, I'm coming in with the police and we're going to clean this up. This is our nation's capital." You want you want trash all over the streets and it's unsafe for the people that live there to walk the streets, let alone visitors of our nation's capital. We're coming up on our 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and we're talking, we're celebrating that we're going up on 13 days of murder-free. That's a crazy thing to celebrate in this nation, that we're celebrating 13 days of being murder-free in our capital, our nation's capital. Now, going into other cities and doing the same thing, I believe is unconstitutional, but offering the mayor funding so that he can hire additional police, totally constitutional. Offering them incentives, denying them funding if they don't clean up their streets. Those are all levers of power that can be pulled. What bothers me more, not so much this idea what Bill Maher's talking about, the slow-moving coup, I don't know how I feel about owning 10% of Intel. Now, it's not a full-blown ownership, obviously. That would be straight-up fascism to a certain extent. I mean by to a certain extent because you'd have to buy up a significant amount of an industry in order to be what you would consider a true fascist idea. But we already have a lot of things, right? That should be privately run, that are run by the government. Why is the post office run by the government? To its own detriment. You know, why is the FDA, why are these other agencies?
For the post office, it was originally a government agency, a cabinet level position, and then they reformed it, I think, under H.W. Bush, where it was a private government-owned corporation, kind of mismatched, and that's when it was kind of
correct.
And the reason why it's a burden is because they had a Reform Act passed a few years ago where the post office had to pay for all employees, both present and even future, like what projected employee growth or whatever, pensions.
Okay.
So that's the main reason why the post office is at a loss, is because they're paying for too many pensions for both current employees, understandable, you have to pay for current employees at pensions, but they're also paying money into projected employee pensions.
And it's also a government-run agency, and whenever you have a government-run agency, it's always going to run like shit. Larry, are you ready for your lightning round over there, buddy?
I am ready for the lightning round. I am. We're going to go to the Midwesterner, and I have great news.
Great news from Larry.
Yes, great news from Larry. Michigan House passes balanced budget. All eyes on the Senate as the deadline looms.
Oh, really?
All right, give it to us, Larry. What do we got?
Speaker Matt Hall, the House passed a budget that cuts all the waste, fraud, and abuse and sets better priorities, backstopping roads, and public safety and education. The Michigan House approved a sweeping budget plan on Tuesday that Republican leaders say prioritizes residents over lobbyists and bureaucrats while cutting billions of wasteful spending.
Billions.
That's nice.
Why
it has been a lot of hard work. Really proud of this budget. Value for my dollars. We've identified $5 billion of waste, fraud, and abuse in the state budget, and today the House passed a budget that cuts all the waste, fraud, and abuse and sets better priorities. Backstopping roads, public safety and education. Speaker of the House Matt Hall, Republican Richland, said. Republicans emphasize that the budget, House Bill 4706, funds key needs while protecting taxpayers. We now have a $3.4 billion road plan by cutting waste, fraud, and abuse in the budget. Now, let me tell you something. You want to see waste, fraud, and abuse? Go watch them redo the roads.
Exactly.
And that's coming from somebody that works in the industry.
I think we just need to have a whole...
It's embarrassing what I see.
I think we just need to have a
Bunch
whole
of people
episode.
standing around watching one person work.
Well, a lot of that, people standing around watching one, taking 2 to 3 or 4 times the amount of time that it actually takes to get the job done.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my personal favorites is to set up 5 or 6 miles of road barrels and safety cones, and for 150 feet of work.
Yeah.
And you'll see them shut down entire lanes for 15 miles, and you come up on a crew that's painting a crack.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse and stupidity.
And they'll shut down that 15 miles.
Yes.
And give you 10 feet before the shutdown. So instead of stretching it out another 2 miles to gradually merge traffic, they do it all in 10 feet so that everybody has to zipper immediately and everything gets piled up.
Dale says even one Democrat voted with them.
Even one Democrat, what?
Even one Democrat voted with them on the budget. Republicans.
Yes. Nice.
Anyways, as I was trying to say...
Go ahead, Teddy.
I know we've covered the road problem a lot on and off throughout various episodes the last few months, but we need to I feel like we need to, at this point, need to have a full-blown episode on how to easily solve the road problems of Michigan. Because there's no mistake that Ohio has way better roads all the time than we do, right? We talked about the Autobahn. Larry's talked about his experience of how the road construction works and how it's just doomed to fail for a few years.
Right.
Right? But I think just the problem is that we just give a lot of money to contractors and they just do a job where they know they'll have to go back to it after a few years.
Well, that's 100%.
That's one of my biggest gripes is they use concrete. Well, if you're going to use concrete, that's fine. Use it. Stop using salt.
They don't work together.
They don't work together. There's a chemical reaction, and it causes the concrete to fall apart. But concrete sucks anyways. You put in a brand new concrete road and drive down it. Slap, 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 slap.
Because they have to have the expansion
bounce, bounce,
joints, all that
bounce,
stuff.
bounce, 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 bounce. Get on an asphalt road.
And by contrast, Patrick's been with me to the UP. I grew up going to the UP as a kid. My family's from there. They have the red, the rusty red stones up there. So a lot of their blacktop is actually rust top.
Yeah.
We drove on roads just a few years ago up there fishing. The vast majority of them are the exact same roads without repairs that I drove on as a kid.
Right.
Because they don't do salt up there. They just simply plow, and if they do anything, they do sand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sand up there, but they don't have the roads falling apart like we do here.
Yeah. Do they use a lot of asphalt up there or more concrete?
No, it's all.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. It's all asphalt. But it's got the one rusty rocks.
I think also it's more of a social people problem because the Upers obviously can drive through snow or they have snowmobiles and all that, but we have a lot of people around here that, even though they live here for God knows how long, they still can't drive in the snow.
Dude.
They're like, they act like they're like in Florida or something, this first time seeing snow. So that's why we have the salting and all that because
it has to be bone dry.
We have to appeal to everybody so we don't have slack jaw idiots crashing in the road or causing more accidents than there already are. I always see like every day on Facebook, it's like some new accidents on like 96 by Green Oak or Howell towards Fowlerville. It's like, I get there's construction, but come on, people. Do you know how people down here drive responsibly?
Isn't it amazing how many accidents we still have, and yet we have a mandate that you go get a driver's license and go through all the testing, and yet we still have the amount of accidents we have? It's like, wait, if you've got to get a license for it and go through training to get it, that should dramatically right there cut down on it. And you've got people having these. And I'm not talking about the major accidents, like the truck driver pulling over. I'm talking like I see fender benders, like Teddy, like you probably are alluding to. I see fender benders on a regular basis, and I'm like, you don't know how to drive defensively? You don't know how to be aware of your circumstances? No, shit happens. I get it. We all get it, right?
How much is
But I've seen some
yard?
people. $1.80?
$1.80 a yard. Is that delivered? Is that with the tax and the trucking and everything? Or
Last time we got delivery down there at the job site, I want to say it was around $1.63.
$1.63 a yard.
But then I think we had some additives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would say your standard's going to be anywhere from $160 to $200, depending on what you get.
Okay.
If you're doing it in the winter and you got to add some calcium chloride for it to dry out through chemical reaction, then you want, it's going to bump up your price. The more aggregate you have in it, the less aggregate.
Right.
If you got P-rock, if you got...
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing with asphalt. The different materials cost. The finer the material is, the more sand that's in it, the more money it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Versus like the binders and the super pave and the stuff like that has big old huge rocks in it. The problem with concrete in this state is not just the salt. It's that we have so much issue with the frost in the ground. So you've got those expansion joints, and you got concrete square here and here, because they're all cut into little squares. And, they start moving around. The vehicles drive over them, they move. you know, and it rains out, water seeps in, then the water freezes and it pops them up. Then you drive over it and you crack it. It's a no-winning. Concrete costs almost double what asphalt does. It is harder to repair. It is harder to it takes longer for everything. It costs more. It takes longer to put it down. It takes a longer time to cure. You know, the whole 9 yards. And we pave a road, right? We go in and people can drive on the base while we're grading it.
Mm-hmm.
We can just shut down. We can take a road, split it in half, put flagmen on either side, and boom, zoom, zoom, zoom. We can lay a load of base, roll it. It's open up for traffic. We go on the other side. We can lay the base, roll it. Then we go back to the other side and we put the topping on, roll it. It's open for traffic. We leave at the end of the day, cars are driving on, and we're done for half the price.
And how long does that last?
Longer than the concrete.
I like it, Larry. I'm not disagreeing with you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a good sales pitch, too. Calling your boss.
I've been watching it for 43 years. I mean, I did the same thing when I was in Germany.
In Germany?
Republicans are proud that we did this without raising taxes. We protected no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, no tax on overtime for Michigan families and workers, Hall said. Representative Maddock, Republican from Milford, who is a friend of the show's, pointed out that he described as one of the largest frauds uncovered in Michigan government taxpayer history. Taxpayer dollars allocated to phantom employees.
Ooh, phantom employees.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest frauds we've ever discovered in Michigan. It's over 4,300 bills to employees right now. You guys realize that the scandal this is. People should be prosecuted for taking money that was appropriated to hire people and use that money for those purposes, Maddox said. Representative Ann Bolin, Republican from Brighton Township.
We know Anna Bolin.
Yeah, she's another friend of this show.
She's another
Said that the budget reflects residents' values without drastic cuts. We didn't have to gut. We just had to cut and reset with what our priorities are. Our priorities are the same as those of the people across the state of Michigan, Bolin said. She also noted that the time spent in the process, yes, the project took a little bit longer, but it was well worth it. It wasn't this wasn't a single purpose effort, it was a solution team effort, Ann Bolin said.
Bolin. Yes. Representative Ann Bolin.
Now Democrats are delaying it going into the Senate. So we will see what happens, and we will definitely be reporting on this.
Okay.
So,
I'm still trying to pull up some pictures of the UP. They just don't want to give me some good pictures of the rusty roads.
Whitmer's Michigan
Next one, Larry.
slides to dead last in hardest working states.
What?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
This would be another Democrat priority. It seems every time we have a Democrat governor in this state, people leave,
get screwed.
Jobs leave, everything gets more expensive, the population shrinks, we lose members of Congress.
Taxes go up.
Taxes go up, yeah. Although Republicans are stopping that this time. So,
unfortunately, when we ever have a Republican governor, we get someone like Rick Snyder that makes the Republicans look even as bad.
Yeah. Well,
so that's kind of the...
I am no fan of Rick Snyder, but I will take Rick Snyder over Whitmer any day of the week.
If that's the only
Sunday.
two choices, yes. But
Yes.
we need better choices.
That doesn't mean, I mean, come on. You have Whitmer, you have Blanchard, and you have Granholm. Those are the three Democrats in my lifetime, and they have all devastated the state.
They ought to suck.
Yes. Yes. Last year, only 2 states ranked lower than Michigan in the analysis of the hardest working states in America. Fast forward 1 year, the Great Lakes State is now ranked dead last. further debunking Governor Gretchen Whitmer's repeated claims Michigan is home of the hardest working people in the world. A study of now hardest working states in America for 2025, released on Monday, compared 50 states across 10 indicators and 2 categories: direct work factors and indirect work factors.
Can we give a nice round of applause for Gretchen Whitmer's hard work? She's just doing such a great job. Larry had to recover from that. He almost had a stroke. His eye was twitching.
Huh? What'd he say?
Gretchen Whitmer, she's so awesome. She won a Chinese manufactory on the west side of the state.
Really?
Oh, really?
The analysis from...
And then Dale says, and Whitler is going to Japan on our dime again.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. Continue, Larry.
Okay. The analysis from the personal finance website Wallet Hub looked at all the data and the average work week hours households with no working adults. Excuse me. The share of workers leaving for vacation time unused, commute times, daily leisure time, share of workers with multiple jobs, and other metrics to assign rankings for each category and an overall ranking. It's undeniable that America has fostered a culture of hard work, but people working longer hours with residents and other developed countries and often leaving vacation time on the table, Wallet Hub analyst Chip Lupo said. Working hard is commendable, but people of the hardest working states may need to consider taking a break once in a while, so lack of leisure time can have a negative impact.
Oh, no leisure time for you.
Oh.
It's just
So
very...
that's it. We need to go on vacation more.
It's just very interesting that a lot of propaganda, especially like in the Industrial Revolution, was pointed towards the quote-unquote Protestant work ethic.
Yeah.
Where, that's why a lot of, like Germany, England, that's why a lot of those countries were super industrialized for the most part during that time, because they had the Protestant work ethic, quote-unquote, along with that said industrialization.
Right.
But it's just interesting how they're pushing for even more work for less quality of life nowadays.
Larry.
So, where is
Waldo? Nobody knows.
Who's the governor of North Dakota? Was that
Kristi Noem?
Kristi Noem?
No, that was South Dakota, right?
I thought she was North Dakota.
Let's
fact check.
Let's fact check. Fact check. We used to have that button. We got to get that button back.
We gotta add a lot.
Fact
of
check.
Martin.
It had the little sound effect.
South Dakota.
Oh, South
Fact
Dakota.
check.
Okay.
Who was North Dakota then?
Current governor or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll read it out. So the current one is Kelly Armstrong, but he took office in 2024.
Republican or Democrat?
Let me look here. Doug Burgum.
Oh, Doug Burgum's a Republican.
Yeah, it was Doug Burgum. That's
Yeah.
probably who Larry's talking about.
Yeah. The 10 hardest working states include North Dakota as first, followed by Alaska, South Dakota, Texas, Hawaii, Virginia, New Hampshire, Wyoming, Maryland, and Nebraska. So most of those are Republican states.
Except Hawaii.
Hawaii's not. New Hampshire's not. Maryland is not. I don't know about Nebraska and Wyoming. The least hard-working working states are Michigan, West Virginia, Rhode Island, Nevada, New York, California, Ohio, New Mexico, Illinois, and Oregon. There's a whole lot of Democrat states.
That was Republican.
Michigan, West Virginia is Republican. Rhode Island is Democrat. Nevada, I believe, Democrat. New York, Democrat. California, Democrat. Ohio, Republican. New Mexico, Democrat. Illinois, Democrat. Oregon, Democrat.
Now, what do they define what it means by hardworking? Do they give parameters on that?
Okay, that would be people working longer hours than residents in other developed countries and often leaving vacation time on the table. Blah, blah, blah. I read that already. The findings are not surprising. Michiganders who witnessed the state's unemployment rate increased steadily during Governor Gretchen Whitmer's tenure. Following a year of monthly increases, Michigan's unemployment rate stabilized at 5.3% in June and July, when it remained the third worst in the nation, behind California's 5.5% and Nevada's 5.4%. Regardless, 5,000 more Michiganders lost their jobs in July as Michiganders' unemployment rate remained at 1.1 percent points higher than the national average of 4.2%, while the national rate of the unchanged from July 2024.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I like that.
it's a very long
article.
article.
Well, look at this one over here. We mentioned Elizabeth Warren earlier.
Yeah.
And Mr. Coffee posted this. I just bought a new Jeep. I named it Elizabeth Warren because it's all white, but it says it's a Cherokee. Gotta love that shit. All right, Larry, how many more you got there, buddy?
Well, there's a couple that I want to touch on here, and they revamped everything. Now, here's something shocking, right? Shock poll: 23% of conservative New York voters back socialist mayor candidate Zoran Mandani.
It's such a joke.
Well, they're obviously not conservative.
Zoran Mandani.
You can't be a conservative and support him.
He's a communist, straight up communist.
Right.
A conservative in New York would just basically be a 90s liberal. So
it's an oxymoron, yeah.
Right. I mean, Giuliani was more conservative than anybody in the.
Or, well, then again, come to think of it, you kind of have a very poor choice of people besides, Curtis Silva in New York. You have Mandami, obviously. Then you have Cuomo. And then you have Eric Adams. And I think some of it could be related to is that people are so sick of the current New York establishment, which is obviously bought and paid for by Wall Street, and those kinds of people, and everything is going just worse for the city, that they are willing to go for a political extreme in order to stick it to the corporations and Wall Street. That's all I can think of. But then again, as I said before, New York conservative, basically 90s to 2000s liberal.
Right. Larry, how many more you got over there, buddy?
Ooh.
Also, Zoran
Right
Mandani
here.
can't
Alyssa
bench press 125.
I know.
Alyssa
so pathetic.
Slotkin.
Illicit?
Yep. This is the words of Alyssa Slotkin.
Illicit Slutkin?
Yes. Socialist New York City mayor candidate Zoran Mandani. Ma'am Danny. How do you say that? Is that right?
It's
Ma'am
ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Ma'am
Danny.
A new generation of leadership.
Leadership?
Oh, yeah. Lead you right into
Oh.
communism.
Does she
Michigan,
what is she?
Michigan left-wing extremist
That's a
Democrat
bad
groomer Alyssa Slotkin thinks socialist New York City mayor candidate Zoran Mamdani is a new generation of leadership that voters want. The groomer spoke with NBC Meet the Press Now on Monday in a Monday town hall meeting in Benton Harbor, where she weighed in on her party's leadership and other issues. The economy and a new generation of leadership, to me, are keys to bring the next generation into politics, the groomer said. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie something or other posted the question, is that what you think Ma'am Danny in New York had so much success, it was necessarily his progressiveness. It was his age. Yeah, I've said it very openly, and I would never be called an expert in New York City politics. Wait a minute. She's from New York?
Well, but she's not an expert in anything, so I think that's a good statement.
Yeah, but she came here from New York.
Correct, but she's not an expert.
Well,
at
maybe
anything.
not New York City. I knew she came here from New York.
I'm just saying she's not an expert. That part's true.
Right.
In anything.
In anything.
Yeah. Well, no, she's an expert at grooming children.
I wouldn't even say I don't think she's good at anything.
You don't think she's good at anything?
I think she's had a few successes.
She's a pretty good liar.
Well, she was successful because CIA annals or whatever. So,
of course,
that's why she's in the Senate, because she serves the intel community.
Dale thinks that she's a full-on communist. Thank you, Dale.
Well, anyways, to go on. I would never be called an expert in New York City politics, but the two messages were like a blinking red light. How can you miss them? The groomer said. People are still extremely focused on the cost of living and how they can't get ahead. Still the motivating issue. And number two, they want a new generation of leadership. Mandani is a self-described Democrat socialist, excuse me, member of the State General Assembly, and defeated former Democratic New York Andrew Cuomo in the June Democratic mayoral primary. Wow, 56% to 36%. A strong sign that Democrats are shifting support for establishment candidates to the communists.
It's like you're proposing, well, would you rather have Snyder or Whitmer? And I go, it's not really a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a choice, but it's not a choice. So they're like, do we want the old guy that sent Grandma and Grandpa to the nursing home to die by themselves? Or do we want this socialist guy who says he's going to give us free shit? Maybe free shit. It's all a joke in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's still leading, this Mandami guy, he's still leading by double digits. He's still leading by double digits. It's scary. We live in scary times. Uh-huh.
These people are crazy.
Now,
what do you got, Larry?
Another Slotkin story.
This is a lightning
Alyssa
round.
Slotkin dodges on socialist Mandami's refusal to embrace Dem nominee. For me?
What? What's this article?
A Michigan groomer, Alyssa Slotkin, doesn't want to talk about New York City socialist mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. What his primary victor means for the Demokook Party.
It's Ma'am, Danny.
Ma'am, Daddy. Ma'am, Daddy. I'm going to say it different every time I read it. Because
when he has to go to the bathroom, it's a ma'am duty.
Yep. On Tuesday, groomer Slotkin joined an online political news show called Breaking Point, where host Sager confronted the freshman senator about her take on growing momentum behind Mammy Danny.
Mammy Danny. Why do we care what her opinion is? We don't even like her here.
She's not even, well, I guess she's from New York, but she's a representative of Michigan. Why do we care about,
Why are we giving her time right now?
Why do people care about what she has to say about NYC?
Well, because she's our senator, so they're writing articles on the Midwestern. They're trying to figure out. I do like the Midwesterners opening shots. The last two articles of her have been, the stills that they have of her are wonderful. It's usually only the left that gets these shots of her. Anything else there, Larry?
Well, there's a couple other articles in here, but
I got to teach him how to scroll through and think without his hand on his chin covering up his microphone.
My microphone. Yeah. Michigan's Republican congressional delegation calls out terrorist ties to People's Conference for Palestine in Detroit. Oh.
Is that her?
Rashida Tlaib?
Rashid Tlaib?
Yeah. Well, that's a fate.
You know, I
Looks
really
like
wish
her in the
Rashid
fate.
would Tlaib. Leave the state, leave the country.
Leave the country.
Just Tlaib.
You know, she could make a fortune as a baker.
A baker?
I mean, think about it. Yeah, look at her face.
She could
like
slam
push
her face into the dough
and make gorilla cookies all day long.
Yeah. She's an ugly person inside and out. That's the facts.
Yeah.
Just the facts, man.
No wonder some of the Muslim men prefer camels.
And rape little boys until they're hit puberty.
Michigan Republican Congressional.
Me the fuck out.
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma. It does creep us the fuck out.
Michigan Republican congressional delegation wants President Donald Trump's administration to investigate terrorist ties to the People's Conference of Palestine in Detroit. You know,
terrorists.
They actually should be looking at that.
You're either with the tariffs.
Well, you're either with the terrorists.
The tariffs.
Are you with the terrorists?
The tariffs or the tariffs?
Tariffs?
Okay, that's enough of that one.
Enough of that one.
Yeah, I can't stand to look at her face.
Shithead?
Could cause impotence or something.
Before we go to final thoughts, Teddy, you brought up gerrymandering. Where are we at on that?
So, I guess we all know that how Texas started the gerrymandering, and I do disclaimer: I think gerrymandering is bad. Both parties should not do it, but here we are.
The Texas gerrymandering.
Here we are, nonetheless. So, anyways, so Texas started, and then Newsom just passed a thing where it goes to a referendum, and that's kind of legally questionable because of the independent commission.
Correct.
So, anyway, so what I saw a couple days ago is that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is going to be pushing for new Florida districts before 2026. And from the map I saw, I don't know if it's the actual map, I'm only seeing maybe 2 or 3 Dem districts out of, and we get like 20-something Republican.
Didn't they lose in Texas? They lost. They were bracing for it. That they lost
5. They lost 5 in Texas. The
5.
Democrats.
Now is that done, or is they still some referendum?
I think it's still kind of in the process of getting through the state legislature.
Yeah.
Well, with California's gerrymandering, I think the Republicans are going to lose 5 districts if it goes through, but that won't be decided until next November.
Okay. I know that
or this November. I'm sorry.
2 of the people that are going to lose their jobs, specifically in Texas, once this all goes through, are 2 of our favorite people, Jasmine Crockett.
I thought she was from Missouri.
Crockett. Dude, she is an upper middle class,
but
wealthy kid who tries to talk ghetto.
I get that, but isn't she like in representing Missouri or something like that? Like
no, I thought she was in Jasmine Crockett and the guy with the cane. What the hell is his name?
Al Green.
Al Green. They're both. I had the article. Maybe it's on my X. I saved it on X. They both were slated to lose their.
No, I guess she is Texas for you. For some reason, I thought it was Missouri.
Yeah, they were both slated to lose their.
I mean, where else can we get some good entertainment in Congress where Jasmine Crockett's doing all that, and then Al Green's over here waving his cane like like Larry saying, "Get off my lawn, you
get off my lawn,
get off my lawn, libtards."
Whatever happened with the Dems that left the state of Texas?
They came back.
They came back, but I think that, so. This is
their little theater act.
All it needs is House approval, and the Republicans pick up potentially 5 seats. See how they reduce that map, and it doesn't look as cut up. But when you look at some of the other gerrymandering,
Illinois.
Illinois
Worst example is Illinois.
Correct, and I'm gonna go to that real quick. Illinois. What do you call that? Illinois state gerrymandering map?
Just do Illinois current House map, and what Pritzker's trying to do now, I hear, is that he's trying to even more gerrymander it so they can get another seat for Dems.
Is this the current one?
Do third one, I think, is like kind of the
this one?
Current one, yeah. Or that could be like do House districts as well.
We want to do that
I think it could be the first one, actually.
Could be the first one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the first. Yep. That's
All right, so look at this as we go through. Look at how this blue one over here. Oops, I don't want to go that way. Why won't you let me go that way? It's not like maps. Look at how that blue one winds through above Cook County. Look at how Cook County's cut through there. Look at how this blue one winds through and goes through DuPage. They're all cut up in order to break up conservative majorities and get these leftist areas to balance out or take over.
I'd say the worst one, if you zoom back out, is number 17. And number 13, too.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude. Why do you have 17 snaking all around there and 13 snaking around there? And I guarantee you, if we pull up a map of, let's see, county 2024 results.
Probably just do Illinois.
No, I just wanted to pull this up like this.
That could work, I guess.
So look at it from this standpoint. Well, I can zoom in on that too. All right, look at this. Here's Illinois. Go back over, you stupid thing. All right, so there's Illinois right there. You've got, of course, around Chicago. You've got the bulk of it around Chicago, and then you've got these three right in the middle, and then you got a couple little ones there, but it's very little.
St. Louis down there.
Yeah, it's around St. Louis. Now look at this. And that's part where you see that cut up stuff. You've got it cut into here. Let me go back to it. So you see that big square, those two blue ones right there? That one's got a yellow fork riding into it right there. That's one of them. And then what is it? Champagne's the other one. That's got that 13 going into it, right? They got number 2 cutting into it. They got 13 cutting into that. That whatever happened to just having normal blocks? You know? You just, okay, you get these 4 counties. You get those 4 you know what I'm saying? How many representatives do you get?
What we
per
should
state.
do, honestly, is just do proportional vote. So whatever, there's a certain amount of House districts in the state.
Yeah.
Proportional vote. You get a percentage of this vote, you get the percentage of House seats, give or take, for both sides. That would be a more fair system if we want, you get what I'm saying? So if you get 40% of the vote, instead of doing it by district for the state total, if you get 40% of the vote as a party, you get 40% of the seats within the state. And if you get like 60% of the popular vote within the state.
Oh, okay. So you're saying, so if the state has 10.
Let's just say like electoral votes to base it off of it.
So if you've got 10 House seats in a state, you're saying you would get 5 and 5.
If each side got 50%, yeah. And if one side got 40% to 60%,
then you get 4 and 6.
Wouldn't that be more kind of fair?
But then who would they be directly representing? They'd still need to have a demographic dynamic, right?
I suppose, but I'm just saying that would be a better alternative than I think snaking everything and.
Well, and then you've also got different cycles.
Yep.
Now, House of Reps every 2 years, of course. We got different cycles for Senate every 6.
Well, I think that what California did with the independent commission should be replicated with all the states.
Okay.
So that way, if we have a nonpartisan drawing all the districts and all that, then it wouldn't be prone to what we see in Illinois.
Right.
And we have areas that are more, I think, where all areas could be equally represented. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what a good solution to be or an alternative. I'm just kind of stating possible other things that we could do better on.
It's hard. Because you've got to get back to. We've got to get back to true representative government. We've got to get back to it, and then hold.
Well, in Michigan, Whitmer hasn't even called
the special. Yeah, she's
special
under
election.
lawsuit. Yeah.
But she's going to Japan, though, so take it easy. Japan trip is a bigger priority.
Japan is more important.
She's traveled the entire globe on her time.
Really?
The entire globe. Australia, New Zealand. I mean, she's been everywhere.
But I just have to wonder why, though. Why is this like vacation, or why is she going to all these different countries?
What do you think she's saying? She's trying to do business.
She's trying to be president. She's trying to run for president.
Yeah,
she's trying to get international.
Run for president or have
trying to get
VP.
international connections,
Correct.
obviously.
Right.
But
while her state is 50th.
While our state is going down the gutter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's good that she's out of the state, because the more that she's in the state, the more damage she does. So
Well,
I think she should get on one of those Elon Musk rocket ship trips and go to Mars and try and.
I'll do you one better, Larry. I think she should get on one of the Amazon rockets that looks like a giant penis.
Yes.
And grab her saggy buddies along with
Yes.
Lisa Slotkin, and they can all jump on the giant penis and say they went to space.
Yes.
When they were actually only weightless for about 45 seconds as the rocket turned and then came back down.
Yeah.
And penetrated.
I got news for you. If Alyssa Slotkin's on it, it's not weightless.
We'll call it falling with no style.
Well, if it fell back down with Alyssa Slotkin and Ripner and the Saggies, would that be like the dinosaur meteor kind of impact?
It could, yeah, it could have a great impact on the dodo bird. All right, let's do some final thoughts. Patrick, you want to start? Some final thoughts here, buddy. What's your final thought, my friend?
I don't even know where to go, to be honest with you.
Well, it's Daggers and Hatchets over in Scotland for a little girl.
I was thinking about her, and I'm imagining being her father. You said that these police chiefs and that are Muslim, and these guys, he has to relinquish his. I don't think I could have done that. I'd have gone to war with those officers that came to my house. I would have gone to war.
Relinquish what?
His daughter. Her.
Yeah.
If I were her father, I wouldn't have been able to let her go.
Yeah.
Not without a war.
Yeah.
And somebody would have gone down.
Hmm?
They may have hauled me off, but somebody would have definitely gone.
Yeah, you're
to the
not
emergency
taking her.
room.
Yeah.
No.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
My AK-47 says you're not taking her.
Yeah.
So according to this, we couldn't quite understand her because she's Scottish, but she said, "You fucking kid bashers," the older sister shouted as the reported migrant filmed the incident. "Don't touch her. Don't fucking touch my little sister. She's fucking 12. She's fucking 12, and you just don't touch her. And you just touched her."
But this is going on over there, and we're
Can you play it again?
We're reading.
You mind?
But this same stuff's going on here. We're
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't. Hey, I'm fucking 12 me. You're fucking bad and
Why you
catch me.
fucking it up?
These are fucking kid bashers.
Show the knife. Show the knife.
He wanted her to show the knife
Show
because
the knife. Show
that's
the
what she
knife.
got in trouble for,
That's
even though
it,
he's a
that's
rapist.
it. Show the knife.
You touch my little sister.
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister. She ain't fucking 12.
That's pretty darn
She's
clear.
fucking 12 and you just battered me.
He's pointing that knife and going, "You want some?" And they arrested her. There needs to be, and this article is saying that UK citizens rally behind teen girl who was charged for brandishing a dagger and a hatchet to fend off a migrant attacker. Yeah, they need to be behind her. Go ahead.
Yeah, as
Pat.
a matter of fact, if I was President Trump on this, and I'm sorry, Patrick, I don't mean to interrupt you, I would, over this story, I would break off all trade.
Sanction them.
Sanction them.
I would break instantly, everything. You're
Right.
done till you release that girl. You are done.
Yeah.
Well,
Scotland, we've got strong relationships with them, but you know what? We
Yeah.
still can, like we do with Canada.
I'm Scott, and I'm telling you, I'd tell them fuckers, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Trump wouldn't want to lose a Scottish golf course, though. So he
Oh,
would-
stop. Shut up. Patrick, finish your final thought.
I'm joking. I'm halfway.
I
joking.
can't imagine this thing going on in their neighbor country, Ireland. I just don't see any of this going on.
It's worse than Ireland. Worse than Ireland.
Is it?
Yep.
And they've systematically disarmed them. That's the problem. Is they've been systematically.
Where's the IRA? The IRA needs to come back.
They stomped them out years ago. I was listening to Harrison Smith on the American Journal this morning on InfoWars, and he said, when do we start shipping arms to the UK so that the citizens can stand up and defend themselves? We're shipping arms to Ukraine. We're shipping arms to all over these other countries.
We kind of did that, but that was like the Irish people in Boston. They were shipping the weapons to the IRA in Ireland to fight against the British.
Yeah. So go ahead, Patrick. Keep interrupting your final thought, buddy.
Well, like I said, this same thing is going on here. We're just, especially in some of these libtard cities where they're, defending, they don't want cops, 5,000 cops to help make Chicago safer.
Well, that's not going to help. We need affordable housing.
What's the
people
point?
only shooting people because they can't get affordable housing.
What's the point of cops if they're just going to arrest people like that girl for defending herself?
And this has gone on for some time. I mean, a few years back, I had a flat tire in a parking lot south of McCormick Place, and I was in the midst of trying to replace that tire, and a guy walked up to me and said, "Do you need help?" And I said, "No, I got it." And he said, "Okay," and he walked off, and about a minute later, this pickup truck pulls up with these big bright lights on it. He gets out and he said, "I know you said you didn't need my help, but I'm going to tell you why you do. It's because these punk-ass kids go through this lot and dump out screws and nails and what have you, hoping someone just like you gets a flat tire. And then about half a dozen of them come over here and they beat the living fuck out of you, steal your watch, your wallet, and anything else they can take and leave you for dead." I said, "Great. If there's 5 or 6 of them and there's only 2 of us, we're kind of outnumbered." He said, "Oh, no. I got my 2 buddies right here, Smith and Wesson." So,
yeah.
And that's you can't have weapons in Chicago, but he happened to be a security guard for Phillips, watching a couple of their big trucks there to make sure that nothing got stolen.
Yeah, that's actually unconstitutional.
Yeah, of course.
At any rate, that's
very good, Patrick. Larry. Final thought there, buddy.
Final thought. Let the saggies know what you think of them. You have a voice. Let them know with your voice.
They have, up until a few years ago, what they do and how they do it was classified as a mental disorder. Then they changed it all and acted like it was a victim status and a privilege.
Well, they are a victim of themselves. But, I mean, the entire LGBTQ wouldn't have any problems if they didn't have that in-your-face attitude. I don't care what you want to do. You want to butt slam your buddy, go close the door and go butt slam him. I don't care. It's none of my business. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it.
I don't want it in the kids' library.
I definitely don't want it in the kids' library.
Right. What's your final? Is that your final thought there, Larry? Go check out the Saggies.
Yep. Check out the Saggies and let them know what you think of them. You can probably see them this Sunday at
Floodgate. I don't know if they're going to come. If they've got issued, what Patrick said, if they've got issued at Floodgate, that they're on notice that if they show up there, that they'll be arrested if they've got a. Right?
Yeah. Well, the sheriff was waiting for him when I went there.
Well, they might have got the message.
I sat and talked to the deputy for 25 minutes.
Yeah, they might have got the message. Teddy, final thoughts, buddy.
My final thought for the day is that I want to give a shout out to my brother, Trey. Watched the show, but he just completed his, I would say, Lou Ferry School kind of thing. He has a tailor certificate. And I think he's going to be moving on to great things with guitars and all that. So my final thought is congratulations, Trey.
Why is he not here with you tonight?
I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted a 5th person on.
Well, at least, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, I'll bring him. If you want him on, I'll bring him on.
We record the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we might have him help me set up a couple guitars, but all right. Yeah, shout out to your brother, dude. Great kid. Met him here. He's come in and played music with us before.
Yeah. Oh, he built. I saw his electric guitar he built. Really cool. I'll have to I should have had him send a photo to me, but
Of course. All right, my final thought. We still have weapons here. We still have firearms here. Get your firearms. But above all else, keep a dagger and a hatchet around. You never know when you're going to need it against a rape gang coming in your town. But we've got to stand tall against this. This is some major bullshit happening throughout the world. And it doesn't always touch us as directly how much these things are happening. But now when Western cultures are really starting to be affected heavily because of their socialist programming and their misguided leftist leanings, that they're allowing these migrants to come in and then run amok through their streets, you have to have a 14-year-old little girl stand up. Yeah, and I'd like to know where her parents are, you know. It's ridiculous. And you know, we've definitely had our incidents here. People are you know, there are things that happen here, certainly in this country, but not necessarily to this level on a daily basis. This is just one little girl that has made a huge headline, but there are people like Tommy Robinson and other people throughout the UK that are posting daily videos and articles. This is happening on a daily basis in the UK, and they want to do that here, and they're doing it by sending in these illegal immigrant populations to flood our systems, and it's got to stop. And Trump's doing a great job as far as shutting down the border, but by accounts, I just heard it today, there are 55 million people in this country on some sort of visa, and there are conservatively 30 million illegals here. Some people think it may be upwards of 100 million people here in this country, either on a visa or straight up illegally.
Can we deport
That's gotta
them all
change.
and then bill the Democrats?
Potentially. I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad
I
idea.
think that's how we should do it. It's
I think so.
their fault.
Yeah. So my final thought is make sure you got a dagger or a hatchet. And speaking of that, they're selling some great daggers on the InfoWars, the Alex Jones store. So go to thealexjonesstore.com/thisismybrain and get you. I gotta pull it up here real quick and see what the dagger is on there.
Got to teach her how to properly use it.
That's true. Well, and that's something I've said before is we get this, we get a rash of rapes throughout the country, and what do? We, what? Oh, I typed in the InfoWars. The Alex
second there, I thought they probably seized the website.
Store.com/this is my brain. I should have the link already up here, but I don't. Brain. I put an I. There, this is my brain. Oh, you can win. Oh, that's the other thing going on. You could win the Corvette Stingray or the Jeep Gladiator. But go on here. I was trying to find the sword. There's one of them. The dagger, the limited dagger. Look at that. You may just need that dagger. Definitely in the UK, you're going to need that dagger. A little bit better than the butcher knife there that she had, or the axe. And yeah, it's a really high quality with the scabbard. Really nice stuff. Anyways, go check out some stuff, but type it in there, thealexjonesstore.com/thisismybrain. We make some portions of that. And thank you for the donations today. Oh, get you an Alex Jones stress ball. It's Alex's head. And you just squeeze it. Of course, you can get the great jeans I've got great jeans, and you see that T-shirt there. Lots of great T-shirts. There's the tinfoil hat kit. You can get your tinfoil hat gear. Some commemorative coins. I take the She Legit gummies. Those are great. I take the Power Plant and the Methyl Drive, those ones. I also take the turmeric gummies. I take the Methylene Blue. I have not tried, this is the newest product, this bovine colostrum. I haven't taken that one yet. But go check that stuff out. It's good stuff. Larry needs to take some bovine colostrum.
Trying to read that. What the heck is bovine colostrum?
So, in the first
Bovine
roughly...
has something to do with...
It's cow.
Cow?
But in the first 2 weeks of any mammal breastfeeding,
Yeah.
or udder feeding, they produce colostrum, which is a lot more it's got a lot more antibodies and other building blocks for the newborn. And so what they're doing is they're harvesting some of that colostrum and putting in there, and it's got huge health beneficial effects.
And then raping the American people by charging them $52.49 for a bottle?
Oh, I guarantee you that does not compare to what other companies are charging for a lesser version of that product. No, I found that their prices are phenomenal compared to everybody else.
Yeah, that's why I don't take any vitamins or anything. They want so much money for them.
And they're usually shit from the local
yeah,
stores.
They're usually crap. I'd rather go... So I keep blueberries in the house.
Just a reminder, if Trump got off the $500 million fine in New York because it was an Eighth Amendment violation, then Alex Jones should be able to get off that through the Eighth Amendment violation being
100%.
over $1 billion.
And they're going after him.
And the Sackler family that caused the opioid epidemic, not even close to that amount of fines.
No, of course not.
Because those fines that you're talking about, Trump and Alex Jones, were political.
Correct.
No justification for them.
No justification. Any final things in the chat before we close it out? Anybody say anything? And they say goodbye?
My buddy Jace in Kansas, who I told you about, he's running for stuff in Kansas. He said ballot measures need to be had where if you present a map to the voter, if it doesn't reach over 60% of the vote, it has to be redrawn and re-voted on. That's like a response to gerrymandering.
Okay. Let's set up a. Does he want to set up a Sunday? We'll talk about it off air.
I could get him on Sunday. I would. Probably would have to be on Zoom, obviously, but yeah, I could message him and try and get him on.
But you work Sunday.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well,
Saturday.
I could do Saturday.
This is the holiday weekend.
No, not this weekend.
Not this
I'm
weekend.
saying, but let's.
I'll get.
Let's set him up and do an interview, and then he can use it to part of his campaign down there. We do a good comprehensive interview with him, and then he can pull excerpts out of it or the whole thing, and.
Yep.
We'll talk off here about it.
Yep.
That's good. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Love you all. Fly him out. Why did I send 50? Oh, is that what the $50 was for? John Bovey said we can fly him out with that $50. It must be Spirit Airlines that we're doing that on. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey,
Dude.
that's an egg.
Seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A little sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they gotta be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage-free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.